What is going on, Culture Junkie Nation? Welcome to Culture Junkies Live, episode 218 on the dial. I'm your host, Kenshiro. Today we're going to talk about bad video game movies, but we're also going to talk about the return of Michael Keaton's Batman. And also we're going to be talking about the sudden mixer shutdown and a bunch of other really cool stuff. So to the right of me is the great Daikuji.
Hello, everybody.
Across from me is Mr. GQ, the dynamic one. Wearing a very dope shirt, I might add.
Well, words cost money.
Yeah, I like that. And joining from remote is Fallen Marvel and his good friend, Mike King, aka Gypsy from Good Guys Gaming. How you doing, buddy?
What's good, folks?
I'm doing pretty good.
Glad to have you on, my friend. Fresh new blood. We love having fresh new blood on the show. Fresh new blood. Yeah,
some topics though.
Yeah,
Topics.
Wave high to the crowd, because from pre-show, I think this guy's going to be a very good, very very good addition. Anyway. Enough talking from me. Let's run the gamut.
Run the gamut.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
GQ.
All right. Well, I'm pretty glad we got Mr. Adam West in there because a good friend of his, Superman. Henry Cavill is going to stick around as Superman, according to himself, for a couple more years. So we might get Man of Steel 2 sometime, I don't know, 2025 or so.
Hey, man, we should have been had Man of Steel 2.
Well, yeah, BVS was supposed to be Man of Steel 2.
Yeah.
But,
Absolutely.
So, he says he wants to still be Superman, which, again, you're given the role of Superman. You hold on to it as long as they want to let you hold on to it. So,
for sure.
Because we've had, 3 Batmen within the past 10 years now? Mm-hmm. So we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah,
we'll pass this on over to
Paula Marvel. How you doing?
Yeah, pass it to the Marvel.
Hi, yes. As you know, EA had their Play Live showcase this past week, which probably is arguably like the worst showcase we've seen in 2020 so far, with the exception of Star Wars Squadron, which is like the only promising thing they showed.
Amen.
Obviously they showed another season of Apex Legends, which has been doing pretty good since it came out, and some other stuff. But the rest of the stuff that they were showing on there was
hard gobble.
Maybe that one weird like Tim Burton looking game looks okay. Because it's like an indie game, so I mean, usually their indie games are usually where you go to. But yeah, that was a pitiful showcase, man. Like,
what's with all these damn Tim Burton resets here? Like, come on, man.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Was a genius. Okay, he did a lot of great things, and it still got the capability of doing that if they would give him the chance.
Well.
Yes, it's a very Tim Burton-esque looking game that they got coming out. I think it's like something the random, live in the world of the random, some weird name. But it's definitely Tim Burton influence. But everything else between the Madden one, which a lot of people seem to be unhappy about so far, because
what else is new?
Wait, real quick, what's this Madden thing? I got to hear this.
Right. I don't know. Like, from what I understand, it's really just. I mean, I've gotten the idea that it's very much a copy and paste game from year to year.
Wait.
It's been that way for years, though.
Like it hasn't.
So,
I mean, it still looks like how it looks on a Sega Genesis. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's just. I guess it's just like a thing where it's like it seems like they essentially are kind of repackaging stuff that they've already done and passing off as new.
Well, okay.
And
first off,
I guess some folks are kind of like kind of realizing that now.
Wow,
I
really?
guess I don't know.
After what, 25, 30 years of Madden? Like,
Madden don't change.
First off, real quick, man. Here's why Madden is all a tizzy. Because they didn't have no 2020 stats to work on. They have no 2020 stats coming through.
This is very true.
I cannot wait to see what 2020 does to sports games this year. Be like, look,
we got some fake 99s out there.
Right. It's like, it's like, I mean, apparently, we ain't got no stats to work off of. So the game's just gonna have. It's like, dude, the game. That's all you guys ever change is the stats. The game is the same.
Exactly.
But whatever.
It barely changes graphically, I mean, come on, man.
You get to a point. Like, that's what with wrestling games. It's like wrestling. Only thing y'all got to do is make DLC rosters. That's it. Because y'all engine is the same every single time, unless you go to a new generation of system.
So, hey, would you keep playing No Mercy?
Yeah, FIFA.
If it was still going on now, or you need some new graphics?
Nah, I need some new graphics.
Yeah, okay,
No Mercy was fun.
Yeah.
Gameplay.
No Mercy was dope. Yeah.
But
What I
want
think
some
is
updated
hurting them
graphics.
slightly is the fact that they don't put the right engines towards the right game. The wrestling would work better on the Snowdrop engine than the Frostbite than anything at this point.
That's
It's I don't know who's making the calls out there, but Apex looks beautiful. Anthem looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else that they've ever worked with either one of those engines are just not, and these were made by the smaller, branches,
Right.
and a little bit quicker than the rest of the game. So I am floored at why they are looking at that.
I think what you run into, especially with WWE or even games that come out every single year, is you run into the situation of, they got to crank one out every single year, so they just get them done as however they can get them done. But I'm gonna pass it over to Dido.
Dido's got something. What's up?
I'm gonna say something that's gonna start some shit because
Okay.
I saw a rumor
Uh-oh.
on the internet about a certain system that's gonna scruff some necks back here, being some Sony fanboys. But if what I hear is true, if Microsoft comes out with their digital version, the rumor has it is gonna be $199 for a digital Xbox, as they call it, Series S. And I don't know why they call it that. Maybe because it's a small.
Dude, that's
whatever.
a funny name, dude. I'm telling you, that's a funny name.
It's a ridiculous name, most
Yeah.
definitely. It's ridiculous because it's way too much to say.
Right.
It should just been Xbox and some number or just whatever.
Or
They-
Xbox
they-
short.
They already messed up the
but
name.
Or yeah, or
Yeah,
Xbox
but if
short
they-
box.
If they drop it like that, it's going to be like this. Remember back in 1994 when Sony dropped that with Sega, when they just walked out and said $299. It's
Yeah.
going to be kind of like that because $199 is a hard sell.
No, it's very
specifically
aggressive.
for parents. Like you're going to say, "Oh, that's a PlayStation 5. That's a $499 or maybe $599." We
Oh, I
don't
can get
really
you an
know
Xbox
yet.
and it's like $200?
Xbox $200.
You gonna get that?
It's going to be
you don't get it and like it.
hard
Now,
price.
here's the question on that. Is this the exact same thing, just digital?
That's what they're saying. It's the same thing as the Series X. Series X is the physical one.
Okay.
Series S is the digital one. Just like how Sony has their digital versus physical.
Now-
And also heard that when it comes to the PlayStation 5, they're going to be producing more digital systems than physical ones.
Probably.
So like the
wait,
physical ones are gonna be-
Gypsy wants to chime in, though. Hold on. What you got?
So we all know what happened with the, I'm not going to call it what everyone coined it, but the Xbox One S, the digital whatever.
Only?
Yeah, nobody bought that one.
When they came out with that thing was actually way more advanced than anyone ever knew it was. And that's one of the forward compatible machines. The digital one is just a slightly upgraded version of that. So yes, they can charge whatever they want for it, which was a genius move on their part if someone actually buys the thing.
But that's what I'm saying.
I love the way you put that.
But that's what I'm saying. If you were a parent and not a gamer, if you were a parent and not a gamer, pretty sure your eyeballs are going to be like, and a lot of kids, because when it comes to video games, a lot of people, when they talk Sony stuff, and don't have to tell me nothing, when it comes to Sony stuff, it's the exclusive games.
Yeah.
But when most kids that play in video games now, they're not playing exclusive games.
No,
You
they
know
want
what
to play with their
They're
friends.
playing Fortnite. They want to play with their friends. They're playing Fortnite. They're playing PUBG. They're playing COD. They're playing things
Apex.
that are Apex
Yeah,
Legends.
yeah.
They're playing stuff that's on all the systems.
Yeah.
So it's a hard sell because nowadays people are playing on mobile. The people who I know who have kids are playing on iPads. They're playing on their iPhone, and they're playing
Right.
Fortnite and all that other stuff. So if they do cross over to what you call
That'll
it,
be an interesting
those-
discussion
yeah.
to see how that bears out.
You
in
and
future
I,
generations.
like, I'm going to buy both of them because I like to play video games and I don't care what they're running on. And part of me is like, if it wasn't for exclusive titles for anything, for Xbox for me is legacy. Seriously. The reason why I want Xbox One or Xbox Series S is because I want to play my old stuff and occasionally maybe something that comes out on there. It's legitimately that. PlayStation
Well,
5
the
for
thing that
exclusive
Xbox-
stuff. But hold on one second. If I wasn't into that stuff, it'd be PC all the way because literally,
you can get everything on
yeah,
PC.
literally
Just
everything. And if not, you can
You
emulate
can
the other
emulate it.
stuff.
Right, exactly. Go ahead,
So-
Gypsy.
So no, the way that Xbox has everything structured right now, you can go and get a brand new Xbox One S or the SADE edition for $199. You can go get a
Oh
used
yeah,
one.
you most definitely can.
But the stuff that's out now will play the Xbox games for like the first year and a half of the new generation. So like,
yeah,
first you
it's
don't
going to
have
be more though.
the thing. So they may win the digital war at first because they're going to come out and say, hey, here's all the stuff. And then here's a one that plays better versions of the stuff you already have, which once again was genius on their part, but they could have left the advertising part alone about the old system can play the new stuff.
Yeah. Again, Microsoft is very good at shooting themselves in the face when they drop something.
I just wish the PlayStation 5 would do that because I want to, first off, take off systems off my friggin' rack. I don't want to have all the PlayStations hooked up just because.
Well, what about your video game museum?
It'd be inert. I can freaking put it in a case.
It'd be inert.
I don't have to play them.
Okay,
They can be out there
here's
for
the
show.
thing on that, and I understand 100% what you're saying about Legacy, but like I've always said, if to get Legacy, you have to hinder something from the current generation or future,
Forget it.
I don't care. I'll
But
hook
see,
up
the
old
thing is,
stuff.
I don't think they have to do that anymore. Mainly because of emulators that are being made. If a PC can run an emulator, Sony could be like, okay, have somebody work on a goddamn emulator that you just boot it up, you pop in a disc, or you download this stuff and then play. That shouldn't be that hard if there's amateurs out there creating this
I understand
stuff.
that, but I mean,
Yeah.
from you have to remember it from their standpoint. They can sell digital copies of old stuff all day long,
And that's what they're
they
doing.
will. So, and I think we've run this one on. I'm gonna let Ken Shiro take back. over.
I don't really have anything, so I'm just like, that's more than enough for running the gamut anyway. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about, but you bring up a very interesting point about kids not playing really on video game
that'll be a
consoles and stuff
future
like
show.
that. That would definitely be a future
that'll
show.
be a future
That'll
show.
definitely be a future
Oh,
show.
yeah.
But let's move on to some pretty exciting news for Batman fans everywhere. Everybody's been asking for it. Everybody's been clamoring for it since he was in Spider-Man Homecoming. And now it looks like Michael Keaton is back. Yes.
Define everybody.
Well, it seemed like a lot of people with his star turn as the Vulture was like, oh, man, wouldn't it be awesome if he came back as Bruce Wayne, as Batman? And, well, now it seems like we're going to get it because the rumor is, and all the trade papers are saying it, that now he's in talks to reprise his role as Bruce Wayne's Batman in the upcoming Flash movie. Sidebar, the Flash movie that can never get off the ground.
Hold on. He's in talks with who? With Warner
With
directly
Warner
or
Brothers.
with DC?
well, Warner Brothers
Or
directly.
AT&T, rather.
Because they're putting together a movie. So they want him to star in this film.
Damn it.
So look,
I would have rather he been in talks with Jeff Johns.
Jeff Johns is no longer affiliated with
if
the movie
only.
side. though.
That would have been better than anybody at Warner Brothers.
I don't
right
disagree.
ahead. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But no, so and the rumor is that he's not only going to be on the Flash film, but he's going to be kind of like the Nick Fury of the DC EU moving forward, which I don't know how that's going to work. But what do we think? What do we think of this latest development? Dido, you said like what now?
Well, I personally don't understand what's going on. When I say I don't understand, I'm going to explain what I do not understand. You got Michael Keaton. He's old now, right? And in the Batman mythos, the only old Batman, there's two of them. The one that, beat up freaking Superman, which they've already done.
Yep.
Hopefully don't do that again, because that Batman was not as old as the Batman that Michael Keaton is.
Exactly.
And the other old Batman is Bruce Wayne and Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Now, I don't understand how they're going to bring him back and put him, hopefully they're not putting him in a suit. And the thing, if you're talking about being like Nick Fury or whatever, that would have to be old Batman for Batman Beyond.
So here's
like the only option.
For your explanation. So here's what they said they're going to do. The rumor is that the Flash movie is going to be some kind of amalgamation of Flashpoint, to where the Flash is going to run back in time, save his mother, and then because of what happens with the Reverse Flash, he's going to trigger an alternate timeline where the Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton Batman will end up being a part of that world that he creates. Which I mean,
It sounds like a TV show thing.
I mean, they kind of already did it,
Dude,
but
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just saying.
Right.
Go ahead. Man. What are you going to say?
Here's the thing: is I don't want to go on this too long, but personally, I love Michael Keaton. That dude is awesome. Birdman was awesome. Freaking, he did a great job as Vulture, as we all know. But for them to, it's like we said, but in the pre-show, this is Kevin Feige level maneuvering, and DC ain't on that level. Warner Brothers ain't on that level. They have shown that they can't even get a Justice League movie done properly and break $1 billion. They have shown that Suicide Squad, for all of its weird faults, somehow got an Oscar over other movies that should have got, but whatever. That's beside the point. Like, so is this Flashpoint which is the next thing that they're throwing at the wall, going to erase Suicide Squad and Justice League and everything else?
I hope so.
Okay, now here's the thing. You do that. What's your plan moving forward? Because apparently Wonder Woman was successful. Aquaman was successful. So if you erase those, then what do you do?
It's my belief that they're going to use Flashpoint, which is what I've always said all along, that they're going to use Flashpoint to finesse a lot of the unlikable elements of the Snyder universe out of it.
Basically, they're X-Men Days of Future passing it.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. With the exception that Ezra Miller will still stick around. I don't want him as the Flash. I want him gone.
Well,
that's just me. Let's hear what Fallen and Gypsy got to say about the topic.
Gypsy, you can go ahead first.
I appreciate the fact that someone dug back in the bag and said, hey, let's do this. Let's get Keaton back. Let's get one of the best Batman we ever had to come and reprise a role after the whole magic eraser thing is happening. I don't know I guess it's from where my age standpoint is. I don't know if it was just him or if it was a combo of him and Tim Burton, like I was saying earlier. I really think the direction led Keaton into this, and if someone else is at the helm, they're going to steer here more towards what the Flash's story would be, and he'd probably get a funky run out of the deal. It's one of those wait and see things for me.
Okay.
Well, hold on real quick. Since direction is at the heart of the matter, who do you think should direct it then? That could honor the Tim
Flash
Burton.
already has a director, I think.
Oh,
Well, yes.
Never mind then.
So creative direction can be shared by more than one person. Co-directors exist. They could say, hey,
sure,
Tim, you helped create one of the best Batman movies we had so far. Come give us some enlightenment. Come show us some things that you did to make the setting and everything feel as dark and gritty as it was, but still able to be put in front of millions of people without disgusting anyone. The man was a genius, and now he's like completely out of the project with one of his puzzle pieces.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah. It's just like one of those things, if they're going to try and at least somewhat rekindle what made 89 Batman special for the time. Because I mean, for its time, it's Batman, but it was very much a Tim Burton film. So it's like it's like one of those things where it's like both Batman, but not fully Batman, because it's like Tim Burton's like whole baby with it. So it would be interesting to see if he has like any input like with this or whatever, because I think one of the reasons Michael Keaton didn't return, because I think like Tim Burton wasn't directing the third film.
That's exactly why.
So right, so it's going to be interesting on that front. Now, as far as the overall story element, that is where it's going to get very tricky, because again, you have Flashpoint, which essentially creates this alternate timeline, and then you have 60-plus-year-old Bruce Wayne, who's supposed to be a Nick Fury role, but again, for me at this age, if he's going to be recruiting at that age in this supposed timeline, wouldn't he be creating like future Justice League members, like i.e. Terry McGinnis or Static Shock adults? I mean Static Adult, and so on and so forth or whatever. It's just like again, like it kind of throws like things off, because again, this timeline he's going to be older. So where does that put everybody else? Like, I mean, where does it put like the other like focal Justice League characters, and where is this going to lead to? Because it just sounds like it's just going to be a very big befuddling type event that I don't know if they are going to really be prepared for. Because first of all, again, this is our first Flash live action movie. Flashpoint is a really huge event to start off with.
Sure is.
Yeah,
Flashpoint is also a good starting point when you want to completely forget about everything that happened and write your own story.
I know, but even still, it's like,
do I have faith in you to do?
That's the other thing.
That's the other thing.
And Fallen said it best: it's befuddling, because again, as Megashawn would say, why is Batman old?
Exactly.
But
right, it's like the timeline.
He's old in the comic at one time.
It's
so
like,
at one time, yes.
Right. Yeah, but you know that's the other. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
It
No,
was just
go
like
ahead.
at one time, but like it had to do with a situation where like people literally got transported in the future. Like it wasn't like it was a situation where like the core Justice League members got displaced out of time and wound up in the future, which
Meeting an
caused
older,
drifts,
yeah.
Right.
you know, whatever. I mean, we've all seen Justice League Unlimited for the most part.
Oh, of
So
course.
we
Greatest
know
one
how-
of the greatest shows they've ever done.
Any comments in the
Right.
chat before we move on?
Well, I'm going to say what's up to all the entire chat because we've been a little bit neglectful. I apologize for that.
Indeed.
We were at a family barbecue. I want to say what's up to Wolverine Solid X in the chat, Mr. Rigor Mortis in the chat, Ace Arcadia, John P. We have been looking at you guys' comments. We've just been kind of riffing on our own thing.
Yeah, we
what's
have.
up to all of y'all?
Yeah, and I want to say what's up to everybody that's watching in the watch party on EJLBN. We want to thank you all for watching. If you do want to converse with us and have us read your comments live, click the live video comments tab. Or if you want, you can hop over to our YouTube channel or Twitch page, and you can converse with us there, and we'll see your comments. But we're going to move on to
Yes,
the
yes,
collector.
One more
yes.
shout out. Two more shout outs.
Two more shout outs. Go ahead.
I got
real
a
quick.
shout out to Warbot on Twitch because he's always there backing us up. Thanks, Warbot.
All right.
And everybody
All
on
right.
Omelet
This guy.
is a shout out to Big Preem. Let us what's that word?
Broadcast.
Free-
Broadcast. There you go on Omelet. To everybody out
What
there.
he said,
now.
freeload. Like what he said,
Can I get
freeload.
one from the chat? I just
Appreciate
want
it,
to
bro.
say what's
Appreciate
up
it.
to
Go ahead.
Mr. Rigor Mortis over there for saying that this should be the beginnings of Batman Beyond. He was already there. Wait,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's
so
absolutely
he's
right.
on that. He's on that page that you were on.
Yeah.
That we was talking about in pre-show.
Yeah,
so that's
absolutely.
fair. That's
So okay, so that was the OG Batman segment. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about. In fact, we even say we could do a whole nother show on this whole OG Batman thing.
Bring it up in the
Oh, very
power
much
is
so.
yours.
Yeah,
and we
absolutely.
can bring it right back.
Yeah, because we got a lot of stuff to
y'all
talk
gotta
about with that.
about it.
But
We'll
anyway,
talk
we're
about
gonna get to the collector segment, which is a pretty popular one actually.
I mean, look who's in it.
Yeah. Wow. Shameless.
Yeah.
I present to you the collector.
Welcome everybody to another episode of The Collector. I am GQ, The Collector. So, I've got some questions every now and again on Facebook, Instagram, in person, through text, through a lot of different outlets. GQ, do you collect pops? As you can see, sort of. This is technically my pop collection. Some are gifts, many of them I bought on my own. But yeah, every now and again I collect pops
Well, I haven't seen any of them around.
because I'm not a pop display collector. But we're going to take a look at the ones that I have just so you guys can get an idea of what I've got. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, so we're going to go with a quick rundown of the pops that are here. I'm just going to start from far and then work my way in. Yes, I hate the price tag is on him, but he's there. Lando Calrissian from the movie Solo. Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. Got one from Death Note. This one I picked up as more of a joke because I love the fact that his name is L. Give him one of these and have him hold that L. This is one of the first pops that I've actually ordered. It's the Dancing Groot. When Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came out, of course, you had Baby Groot. So it went from one phenomenon to another. We've got Mr. Barron from Mrs. Pentegrin's thing from Peculiar Children, Home for Peculiar Children or whatever. I wanted the Samuel L. Jackson pop, why not? The Golden Girl, James Bond. I am a huge James Bond fan. Kylo Ren, picked him up at that same Borders that was closing. The other pop that I ordered, The Child. Now, I don't know why Disney's sleeping on this and why it took them so long to have anything merchandise related to him, because you knew he was coming. Heihachi from Tekken. Love Tekken. Devil Jin from Tekken. Again, love Tekken. One of the earlier ones I picked up, apparently only at GameStop, Akuma. James Bond from Dr. No. Got him, again, as you can see, at Toys R Us. From a Toys R Us that was closing. He was exclusive to them. Emperor Palpatine. Bobblehead Vader being electrocuted. Both of these were gifts. These were given to me by good friends over there from Top Notch Grizzly. Make sure if you got a beard and mustache and hair care and all that, check them out. And these are the first two pops that I ever actually bought. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure if you got any questions about the pops that I do have or just want to talk about pops in general, stick around for the end of the show for the Power is Yours segment. You guys will be able to take over the chat. It'll be all you guys pretty much put out there whatever you want to talk about. So again, I'm GQ. This has been The Collector. I'm going to turn it back over to the guys in the studio Make sure you leave some comments, like, share the video. Guys, take it away. Culture Junkies! It gets me every time. The dude is so freaking, just so much charisma. And
Don't you want to say it like Scott Hall, Razor Ramon? He's just oozing machismo.
Oozing machismo. Big shout out real quick to Top Notch Grizzly. I did mention it in the video, but yeah, two of those pops were gifted to me by Mike and Alice from Top Notch Grizzly.
Awesome.
Love them guys.
Love
they are
them.
cool. If you got your trying to get your beard game tight,
Nice.
look them up because they got some awesome products. But so yeah, that's if you want to switch the topic to collector. But that's my Pops collection.
Those are his Pops collection. I have one.
You have one?
Yeah, it's BMO from Adventure Time.
There you go.
That's the only pop you got?
I believe so, just one.
Okay.
But because I have a problem with Pops. That one was gifted to me, and there's a movie out there that I really like, and I watched it today.
Okay.
In fact, it's called Big Trouble in Little China.
Cult classic.
Yeah, it's a great movie. And there are pops for Big Trouble in Little China. You have a Jack Burton pop. You have a Lo Pan pop. You have Rain pop. You have Gracie Law. But you don't have Miao Yin.
Yeah,
why is there not a Miao Yin pop?
That is a good question because she was way better looking than Gracie Law.
Why is there not a Wang Chi pop? Why is there not an Egg Shin pop? They all are freaking important.
Well, Wang
They met
technically is
their
the main
Asian
character.
quota.
Wang
Right.
is the main character.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
like-
there's an Asian bias or something.
There has
Must
to be. I mean, there's
Must
Lo
be.
Pan.
Well, here's
Right.
what you do.
It probably could just be a
ridiculous.
licensing thing.
But licensing in what?
It's no.
I mean,
no,
if they got
he's
Jack
right,
Burton,
though.
they could have everyone else though.
Yeah.
Not
I don't
necessarily.
see, like-
Not
Well, the characters
necessarily.
themselves have to sign off on all that
Right.
stuff.
The
And they're
actual
probably just
person,
like,
the person has to sign
I
off
didn't
on
think
it.
about
Well,
that.
we already know Victor Wong. Unfortunately, he passed away a while ago.
His estate could do it for him.
Yeah, Susie Pie. Don't know much about her. She has not done anything as far as I know.
Well, she
was a model.
rejected. She rejected my my engagement request. So I don't
care?
She don't exist no
You
more.
don't care?
As far as
Okay.
I'm concerned.
And Dennis Dunn, I think he's out there doing stuff. He's still been small roles here and there.
He's absolutely right. It could be a license because the thing is, like, for example, when they use what was that movie that came out? It was Hot Fuzz, I believe, when they had that thing where they were looking at an old movie or something. They had to get permission from everybody in that scene, including the extras
Are you
that were in
talking
that scene.
Well,
'cause
damn.
Hot Fuzz, they had it was Point Break, if I remember correctly.
There was a scene from Point Break, and they literally, Keanu and Patrick signed off, no big deal, whatever. But there was an extra that was climbing a ladder, and they had to contact him.
How? See, that's what I like to understand.
I'm dead
Because that
serious.
doesn't make any sense. Because from my understanding, for
It's like you're not even credited for this movie.
It
sir.
don't matter,
Exactly.
dude. It's likeness rights. I kid you not, because you have to remember all of that is contracts.
okay,
That's why, like-
I understand in that aspect because
Yeah.
it's directly their license. But a pop vaguely looks like the person.
I understand. I get you, but at the same time, it's still that person.
yeah, they
at
still have
the
to use the
time.
name and the brand of the movie and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Dude,
it is-
rights,
it is
rights,
nuts.
rights. Like legalese is insanely complicated.
Yeah, I believe
and
it.
stupid because like even the Mortal Kombat actors tried to sue.
Oh,
was
God.
it Midway at the time? Yeah, I guess it was Midway. Tried to sue Midway because when the home game came out, they're like, we didn't sign off for no home game.
Oh, yeah,
Like-
I remember that.
like, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like you didn't think that the creators of this was going to go beyond the arcade. Now that the Super Nintendo and Genesis exist, but that's just how crazy it gets, man. Likeness rights is insanely complex.
Okay, so what does
That's
everybody else
wild.
have in their Pops collection? Anybody got some? I personally, I have like maybe 5 or 6 in my
Okay.
collection. I've got Raymond Reddington, and I've got Elizabeth Keene from Blacklist. I have a Batman Beyond one that I got from the Blu-ray
collection,
yeah,
yeah.
from the
Yep.
Blu-ray collector set.
'Cause I have that one too. I forgot to put it in. The video.
I have a Godzilla. He was a big,
A bigger one,
Yeah, he was
yeah.
a big. He was a big.
Okay.
Pop. Yeah, I got a Godzilla. You said you only
I have
have
a BMO,
one.
but I
You have
want
a
more.
BMO.
I want a green Batman. Because they
Okay.
got the rainbow Batman. I want a green Batman. I want a Green Lantern, but it has to be oh gosh, why can't I think of his name now? John Stewart. And I need a Hulk. And maybe a swap thing. Swap
You should. You
Oh,
should
so you want the
notice,
green?
like,
You want the
he
green
just
character? Of
wants
course.
all green
Ain't
characters.
nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Hey, Gypsy. I don't know if you have pops, but you got some other stuff to show off there, brother.
It's bad.
It's bad. His addiction
My
to Sony is
pops.
bad.
No, what the hell? So I bought an 11 pop, and it's a mini one. It's a keychain. That was the only one that I had ever gotten. And then someone got me one of the best presents ever. It's too far to run and get to display. I should have thought about it, but it's the Venomized Miles Morales.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even know that happened.
Nice,
That's
nice.
cool.
It just happened, and the moment one of my buddies saw it, he grabbed one and put me one up, and that's the only pop that I've ever really been like,
That's true friendship right
Yes,
there.
it is.
dude, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Shout out, he's in the group. I'll get to that later. But man, I have a small collection, but I think it's about to get started.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. But no, I heard something about some Sony swag though, because you obviously got your shirt on, and I see a
I
few
got-
things behind you.
There's only a few, just to say the least. I love my brand. I'm not afraid to say it.
Nothing wrong with that.
And my
You got Sony
entire
stock?
collection right now is, yes, actually, my entire collection is
I knew he
Sony
did.
and Nintendo. And like that's everything that's behind me right now. I don't know.
Where's that Vita? Where's the Vita? Because that looks like a PSP.
That is a PSP. The Vita
Where's the
is
Vita?
on the bed in the front because I either play the Switch or the Vita before I go to sleep.
What version
Wow.
do you get? The original Fat Boy or
Wow.
the skinny one?
You know what? I had the skinny. I had to go back to the original Fat Boy
Fat Boy
because
got
I
better.
found out why.
It has a better screen.
And the battery.
Oh, the batteries last longer? I never bought the skinny
And
one.
the battery.
I
For
want a
some
skinny one if
reason,
I can
it
find a
lasts.
green one.
Here's the one thing that I didn't like, and I think
I
this
used
is
to-
this.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead, Fall. I'm
So
sorry.
I was saying, like, I used to have like the ice blue slim one. I had to sell it because I needed the money, unfortunately. So
I-
I'm
I,
kinda- I'm still
here's
kinda
here's
sad
what
about that.
disappointed me. I think with the Sony handhelds, and I think if I remember correctly, because I never bought it, the PSP Go. Was that the all digital thing?
It was
that
all digital.
bullshit,
But the
man.
PSP Go right now
Uh-huh.
is probably the best one for a lot of reasons. It's the only one. It's legitimately the precursor to this.
I know, and that's fine.
that.
No,
but-
hold on. What
No,
I'm
go ahead,
saying is
go
because
ahead.
you can. There's an adapter for it. You can hook it up right up to your TV and use a freaking PlayStation 3 controller. With
Now
it.
here's the thing. I grant you all that is great. At the same time, you know me in physical. That was the turnoff. Immediately when they announced it, I'm like,
I agree because
I'm
it's
like,
the same reason why
I'm
I
just
don't
sitting
have
here looking
one.
at it like,
But
so I
it
got to
was
download
smaller,
everything
too,
I want to
wasn't
play.
it?
It was
quite a bit
smaller, but
yeah.
it's it's great to hack that one, to EMU it and put other stuff on it. It's
it was
the
a
most
quick fight
expensive
machine.
one. Huh? What'd
It
you
was
say?
just a quick fight machine.
Yeah, it was,
something
yeah.
that you're traveling, or you're in the backseat of somebody's car, or you're in another
Yeah,
city, and there's
but
just
they go for a lot of money right now.
No, of course they do, but here's the thing. My thing with the PSP, because the one I have is the one that looks like the one you have back there, the bigger, the original. And I used to carry that thing around in a case. Now here's the problem. I only had one issue getting onto a plane with it because I had one of the carrying cases that they came out with it for that system, and it looked like it was a gun case. It literally looked like it was like a handgun case. I'm like, damn, I should have rethought this. I am a black man walking to the airport with a little silver case about the size of a
Be careful
45.
with that
I'm like,
one.
maybe I should open this immediately and start playing video games so they can see.
Yeah.
So,
All these PSP
yeah.
Go's that's going on freaking eBay right now are all over $100. This one is going for $200, and it's like I want one now for a collection because the same thing with you. I am not a big fan of digital. Only, like some digital games, if they only come out digital, is great. I for something like the Switch, I have a hard time wanting to buy physical because I'd like to have it all right there because it is portable. You just take it with you. But at the time when that came out, I was just like, I got all these games. You got these games, these PSP games, and I can't put them on. I got to rebuy them. Like, no.
yeah,
not
all right.
happening.
Mr. Rigor Mortis got us all beat, though. He says he lost his PSP in Iraq.
Oh,
So that's the casualty
right.
of war.
Oh, damn.
So
Right,
apologize. Sorry
Sorry
for
for hearing that.
Sorry for your loss.
Sorry and thank you.
Like,
Yeah.
real quick,
Sorry
real
and thank
quick,
you,
it's
absolutely.
like, but GQ, that 288 Vader that you had was actually pretty dope.
With
Just
288.
so- just so
You're
you
talking
know.
about the
Like, it was-
lightning affected one?
Yeah,
That was the one that was gifted to me by the
that's a
great
dope
people at Top Notch Grizzly.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a dope pop. Like, that's by far probably like the best like Vader pop I've ever seen.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank them. And
Oh yeah,
next week's episode of The Collector is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Just let y'all know.
yeah.
You got any more of them? You got any more of them collectors episodes, man?
Of course I do. You seen my freaking rec room?
Yeah.
I can point in one direction and have a whole half an hour in each
that's
corner of the
true.
room.
That's true.
I'm digging the Stark gauntlets. That the detail, even that I can see from here, was just astounding.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yes, some
Thank
good
you.
stuff. Yeah, he loves showing off his collection.
Well, I mean,
He
man,
really
you
does.
know, when you got it, flaunt it.
Yeah, indeed. That's why he does unboxings every single Friday.
Every Friday.
Every single Friday over on YouTube. That's why he does his unboxings. All right, y'all.
I just filmed 6 of them today.
Yeah. Oh man,
Nice.
see, look at this guy. He's
Oh, wow.
Damn, he's
just
just a
saying,
workhorse.
Head of the game.
Yeah.
This is workhorse. This guy. Anyway, that was thank you for another great episode of The Collector. We'll be back with another
I appreciate you,
episode
GQ. Thank you.
next week. So right now we're going to talk about some hard hitting news that kind of dropped on the streaming world a couple of days ago. So we've talked about Microsoft, kind of they take it on the chin sometimes. They try new things. They try and experiment, do some pretty ambitious stuff, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Well, Mixer I was kind of hoping would work because one of the reasons why Mixer even started to exist is because Twitch started to become almost like a monopoly for the streaming. Like YouTube gaming was a thing, but it wasn't nearly as popular as Twitch. And Twitch was kind of like almost really heavy-handed with a lot of their terms of services and stuff like that. And a lot of creators felt like they were restricted, so they bailed and they went over to Mixer. And it was kind of seen as a win when they pilfered Ninja away from Twitch and gave them all this money. Well, Mixer's now shutting down. And I think the shuttering date is what, July 22nd, I think, or something like that.
20, it's either 22nd or 30th.
Yeah, so like July 22nd is going to be the last day of Mixer. And, Ninja came out smelling like roses, Ninja and Shroud, because Mixer was trying to pass everybody over to Facebook Gaming, all their partners, and say, hey, we'll give you partner status over on Facebook Gaming. Ninja was like, no, man, run me my money. I'm going to be a free agent. So they paid him millions of dollars to get out of his contract. Dude,
$30
million. $30 million. NBA money. $30 million for this dude.
NBA money.
30 million. You think I'm lying? $30 million
No.
to get out of the
it's a
stream.
weird
Dude, this is
comparison.
crazy. So I kind of wanted to talk about Mixer shutting down as a service, like what went wrong, and how will Facebook Gaming kind of fill that void? Because I don't know. I find Facebook Gaming kind of hard to really make any inroads with, Well, what do you guys say? Gypsy, you got a unique perspective because you like streaming games a lot. You and Fallen as well. So what's your perspective? What's your take on
I
that?
just got to the point where I can stream every day, and Facebook is a good place to get used to it. It doesn't cooperate with other systems, so a lot of people aren't using it for what it's supposed to be. But now that it's about to get this big push, they're going to do something to make it work at least. Now,
What do you mean? I'm sorry, not to cut you off. What do you mean by it doesn't cooperate with other systems? What do you mean by that?
Well, if you're not part of their level up program, you can only stream at 720, and it doesn't mesh when you go through Restream because everything else can do 1080 with no problem.
Right.
So in order to be able to stream everything at the same rate and not chew up your computer's brain trying to get it to work, you have to abide by all of this stuff that Facebook has to do, which is what I'm trying to do now. When you settle in a spot, that's where you have to stay, and I think that's where Mixer got lost. They tried to replace something for a static position, meaning Xbox, instead of just saying, hey, everyone stream here. Twitch did that, and then they gave you all the interactive stuff on the screen, and you got a channel that stays live and all that. So it's more than just watching a streamer. You can interact with the site itself and them. So it's more to do. Facebook doesn't have to do that because of the amount of people who already use the service. YouTube doesn't have to do that because it's YouTube. They're all in their dedicated spaces.
Right.
They all do the same thing, but they're different. Mixer should have found more of a crowd with everyone produced by Microsoft. They should say, hey, come do the stuff you can do on Twitch for everything. Just we're not going to dedicate it to one platform. That's what did it. Why do you think PlayStation hasn't had one yet? The moment they do, it's going to fail. And I can say that with all my PlayStation gear in hand. If they try to make a dedicated streaming platform for PlayStation, it's not going to work.
Didn't you kind of try to do that with the TV system that came out?
Yeah, that PlayStation View. That's
PlayStation
why that's
TV.
no longer a thing.
But I think it was more for streaming their
TV,
game, like streaming their
whatever?
games so you could play them. I don't think it was. Oh no,
No.
and that was also
The
for their
PlayStation
Everybody
Now
was
was
having
for the
sex
games.
on there.
Yeah.
The PlayStation
yeah, there was
View
that.
didn't
I
work
remember that.
because it should have just been a Sony thing. They should have left the game space alone and said, "Hey, here's a Sony box," and boom, that's Netflix in your home in a box at Sony. They could have had that a long time ago, but they wanted to have the all-in-one,
They could have had
which,
that with
as
the
a
Vita
gamer,
TV.
I don't want.
Yeah.
They literally could have had that with the Vita TV. That could have been
Yeah.
their but they shot the bed with that.
Well, Mr.
Yeah,
Rigor Mortis brings up an interesting point real quick out of the chat. He says, my kids don't have Facebook, and I don't want them to have one until they're older. But he says that his kids streamed on Mixer. Now, how are they going to fix that? So,
That's a stream on Twitch.
That's
but he was keeping them away from Facebook, so Twitch
Okay.
might be the same type of situation. where it's
No,
like,
Right.
you're not-
Facebook is way bigger than to me. Twitch is like going to a store that this is what the store is about. AutoZone, call it like that. Facebook is going to a mall because there's so much.
I understand that,
stuff
but
to
you
get
got to
lost
remember
in
when
there.
Twitch started, it was the Wild West because Twitch wasn't Twitch
Yeah.
before they like really got all their stuff together as far as their rules and they. It was people like you said, people having sex and
On
all
Twitch?
that.
I didn't
Yeah,
know about
No,
that.
they were
Dude,
getting wild
Twitch-
on Twitch. They
Twitch
were.
was
They
super
were getting
duper
wild.
Wild
Yeah,
West.
they were getting wild on
That's
Twitch.
why that's why you have your Twitch streamer,
Terms of
female
service.
streamers and
Yeah.
all
The
that
boob
are kind of
streamers.
skirting the rules.
Yeah.
because back in the day they didn't have any rules.
Right.
Wow,
So
I
Twi-
didn't pay attention.
So
to
I
Twitch
can
back
understand.
then.
So from his standpoint as a parent, I think Mixer was
Okay.
really keyed in on exactly on that.
One of the most infamous people like that, and you may have heard of her before, Kaceytron. Kaceytron was
You
like
used to let it
the
slip all the time.
dude. She was literally wore the most low cut cleavage. I'm not trying to bash women that do this, because women can wear whatever they want on the stream, right?
They
But
wear
it
whatever
was
they want,
it was
wherever.
absolutely blatant that she knew what she was doing, and she didn't care. Like literally, that's what she based all of her popularity on, and it got her where it worked for her. And it did, but it was against the Twitch terms of service, so they kind of wrangled a lot of that in, and they've kind of started to really, tone down a lot of that stuff because, like, kids like Mr. Rigor Mortis's kids were, coming on Twitch and they'd see boobs everywhere, and that's not what a lot of parents really want them to do. It's supposed to be about the games,
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
Yeah, it's definitely a very murky thing. Like I've only streamed on Mixer for a very limited amount of time. But what I found interesting was the amount of growth that they calculated for the past year, and like compared to the other ones, like obviously Twitch is number one because it's Twitch right now. And second was Facebook Gaming, which I think overall, even though Twitch was number one, Facebook actually had the most growth the past year. And YouTube was third and Mixer was like bottom, but like compared to everybody else, like Mixer like had like really like next to like no real growth, like compared to everything else. And
right.
part of the argument I've been hearing as far as that, I think has been, I guess, like advertising on Microsoft's part in a way, because like Microsoft has like this very weird thing when they bring out products. It's like they kind of bring stuff out and like they'll make an announcement and then afterwards like just
They won't
kind
promote
of
it.
really don't hit
Yeah.
like you don't hear from it.
Exactly.
And it's like, and that's part of the reason why too, but it's like that on top of it being a hardware exclusive platform, which I mean at this point, like it kind of like when you kind of use like a multi-chat situation like Restream, like they kind of supersedes that. So but because like it was supposed to be isolated to them, that's kind of part of what hurt it in the long run as well. So it's just like Microsoft has just like this very weird concept when it comes to them introducing new programs or platforms, so to speak. It's like, I mean, even if we're like talking about Xbox, it's like sometimes the way they go about like approaching the Xbox, like, even with the Series X, it's been like really weird. So it's, I don't know, like Microsoft is just like very just strange when it comes to them like actually like pushing the platform and getting it out there and whatever. So like
What
I don't know
Microsoft needs to do with that is share the appropriate things. When
Yeah.
like okay, I watch people when they stream. I go to sleep and I watch streamers. I watch what they do. I love the culture at this point. And when something gets dedicated away from that, like people that I used to watch that went over to Mixer, I no longer have access to. Instantly, Microsoft just cut off half their viewers.
Was
Like, it was-
not just on the Xbox? Or you can't watch it on your PC or something? Tablet?
Well, I have to have a Microsoft account and all that kind
Oh,
of stuff to
really?
be involved as it'd be like I would want to versus
Yeah,
just
you
going
did.
to Twitch and hitting the little collective buttons and
Yeah.
interacting with
It was
stuff.
too restrictive. It was
I
really too
didn't know that
restrictive.
at all.
Microsoft is the most infamous cheating husband ever. Microsoft has a weird tendency to bring out something good, and then they got to fiddle with it. So it's just like, you got caught cheating, so why don't you just stop cheating? But no, they kind of try to push it a
they
little
couldn't
bit
help
more.
it. Yeah.
Like, they brought out the original Xbox One X, and it had to connect. And it was like, okay, you got to have the Connect for everything because it's important.
Dude,
And then after a while, they cheated on the Connect. It was like, hey, dang.
we got to get rid of this thing.
Kind of
Yeah.
yeah. Let me drop this
didn't-
Connect.
yeah, I-
Right.
Because, you know.
I did to this day. I still don't understand why they dropped
Right.
support
And
for
then
it.
after
I
a while,
really
they
don't.
dropped the Connect. They was like, oh, wait, hold on. See that other girl over there, though. But she got a little bit, she got a lot of the same stuff, but she's younger. So let me go ahead and get with her. But at the same time, when I come back to the one that over there that I see down the street, she's a little bit, sexier and older. So I'm going to come back to her in about a year after I get with this little youngin. So it's like Microsoft does that a lot, and it's weird. It's like, why do y'all keep just come out with one thing and stick with it for a while so I can actually get used to y'all being faithful
Right.
for a little bit longer than just,
They should do that. Something else I've seen, I don't know if this is particularly shady or not, that I found out about Microsoft recently. I signed up with the Game Pass because it was $1. And I did it for Streets of Rage 4 because I bought the physical version, and I wasn't buying the digital just to play it until my physical eventually came. So I was like, it's $1 for a month. I cancel it after a month. For whatever reason, they're giving it to me for $1 until February next year. I'll just hold on to it.
that's probably their COVID benefit.
Yeah.
They like people out of work. We got.
I don't know.
Yeah.
$1 for
They've-
almost a
yeah,
year,
they've-
I'm cool. But what
They've had it
happened-
for $1 for like almost a year and a half now.
No, but it's usually $1 just for a month. But anyway, let me get to my point.
Go ahead.
Point real quick
Go ahead.
is certain games are available through Game Pass. And I was, looking around. I was like, oh, I got that game already. And then I clicked on it in my whatchamacallit, and it started playing without because I have the physical version. It just started playing. I was like, okay, so what you're telling me is when I pop in a physical version of a game into an Xbox, it downloads the whole entire game onto the hard drive, and the disc is literally the key. And I know Sony doesn't do this because Injustice is free until the 25th, which I think is tomorrow. To the original Injustice is free, right? So I went to go download it, and it was like, you have the physical version on your PlayStation, or you have to delete that in order to download this. And I was like,
Dang.
okay.
Dang.
So you're actually playing the game on the PlayStation,
Right.
and on the Xbox, it's just the key
well,
to
I
play
mean,
the game.
again, but that you got to watch. Here's the thing, though. You got to watch out for that $1 membership because
I watched it.
Because come March, you might have chlamydia or something.
It
Well,
might have.
here's the
Microsoft.
thing that you want to be grandfathered in with, and this goes for PlayStation now and the Games Pass. So far, everything that we know is they're going to cross over into the next generation of
Oh,
platform.
yeah.
Of
Oh,
console.
they have to, because if
Yeah.
it would be insane, because when they had the PSN thing, this basically started with the PS3, kind of with the PS2 a little, but not much. But the PS3 was kind of what we got currently. They had to have that crossover, because it'd be insane. To be like, oh, we're gonna charge you $60 a year for the PS3 PSN, but then you got a PS4 PSN that we got. It's like any company that did that may as well just cancel their online everything. Because nobody, I ain't about to have a PS3 account and a PS4 account. Then Microsoft have a Xbox 360 account, then Xbox, One. It's like, nah, dude, y'all better roll all that together and have benefits that go across, cross generational benefits.
Well, they're trying, and so far it's working. I've got the PS now, and at this point, I'm just happy that I can still play at least digital versions at this point of like PlayStation 2 games on the PlayStation 5. That makes me happy
That's
at
cool.
least.
That's cool.
That's a little bit of shut up medicine from them, and I'm fine with that. Xbox needs to make sure that is what also comes with their smart delivery, and I would applaud them for it.
All right, last comment.
Well, real quick, I mean, that's one thing that I have loved about Sony throughout all these years is they don't drop their when a new system comes out, they don't drop the old one as if it never existed. Because when Xbox did that with the Xbox 360, and then they acted as if the original Xbox was just like a redheaded stepchild that like just came out of, again, they be cheating husband. All of a sudden, it's just like they dropped it like it didn't exist.
Technically, they didn't do that with the Xbox One to the Xbox 360.
Oh no, they didn't. But you remember because
I remember
because we were like because I remember your brother was trying to get a 360, and then we ended up getting. I forgot who got one. It was either you got one or he got one. Either way it goes. A couple months later, the original Xbox was got like no support. Like they were just like we ain't making no games.
They dropped it.
What is this thing?
Like,
Like what? Like y'all are crazy. Sony was like, well, you know, PS2. We ain't gonna drop the PS2 support until like 10 years into the PS.
Yeah, wasn't that like 2 years ago?
Dog, man.
I think the last game that came out on PlayStation 2 came out like 2018 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it was
about 2 years
insane.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it was
just,
a FIFA game, I think.
Yeah,
too.
so it's like
Not FIFA.
It's like
Soccer, though.
they are faithful to you. So
Yeah.
I'm like, look, you know, I ain't married to nobody, but
And like the
Sony-
Wii, they still supporting the Wii though, because Just Dance 2020 I think came out on the Wii.
Yeah.
Or was it 2019 on the Wii?
here's the funny thing: Nintendo is weird, and I know this is supposed to be last comment. This is still related, real quick. Nintendo is weird sometimes with that though, because when they had that Twilight, what was it? They started off with was it Wind Waker or was it Twilight Princess? Which one of
Twilight Princess came out on GameCube and the Wii at the same time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, I get where you're going with that, but it was like, if you're trying to sell me a system,
You know they
you
didn't
might
have
want
to
to
do
put that, huh?
They didn't have to do that because the freaking Wii was backwards compatible
No,
with the
I
GameCube.
know that, but that's like if you're trying to sell me a system and get me to buy a system, don't drop your system seller on both systems at the same time.
Well,
Because it's like,
Nintendo is in a weird place. It's where they're a kid system, and a lot of parents aren't going to say, "Hey, we're going to get you a brand new system to play something that you already got."
No, and you're 100% right. And again, I think that comes with us being obviously older as gamers now, and it's like we got jobs, we can buy our own stuff. You know,
Right.
I don't. I guess because it's like I don't look at it as for kids' standpoint because I'm not a kid anymore. But
Well, Nintendo just knows their audience. That's all.
No, exactly. Exactly. They have to cater to their audience. But when I look at stuff like that, I'm just like, man, whatever.
Yeah, they're diehard Nintendo fans.
Right. And
This is
again,
what it
I
is.
completely understand that. I have zero problems with that. But from my standpoint, it's like I'm gonna buy my stuff. I'm gonna buy what I want to buy.
Right.
Right.
That's,
You know.
So before we, actually, you know what? Let's go over to video game movies, start the main event, and I'll give my shout outs over there.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
The main event.
So it's kind of hard to see some of the comments in wrong camera, and you got to hit topic 5 or topic. Yeah, there you go. It's kind of hard to see some of the comments the way the watch party does these things over on Facebook. But I want to say hello to Darian Jefferson and Anthony Carrier over on Facebook, who's watching. They're watching EJOBN, especially Anthony Carrier because he said first time listener / watcher digging the content. We appreciate you watching. We're
Appreciate
glad
it,
that
man.
you joined us.
Appreciate it.
There's another Darian in the world?
Yes, there is.
How did that happen?
You know, it's surprising. You're surprising. There's one out there that has the exact same name as me.
Uh-oh.
Wow,
I was like,
same
what?
spelling too.
Yeah.
Synthoids.
Same spelling.
Synthoids.
Anyway,
Hey. Synthoids. Who remembers where that's from, though?
I mean, did we forget about Prince
Synth-
Darian
Synth
Shields?
is from Aliens. though.
Tuxedo Mask?
Oh,
No,
God.
I don't forget about it. You remember Time Tracks? You remember that that TV show Time Tracks that came out back in the 90s?
Nah, man.
I remember Time
Oh,
Tracks.
Nah, I don't
because
remember that.
The character's name was also Darian. He had a fucking fob that when he shot people, I forgot what it did. I think it froze him in time or something like that. He was like a time traveler. Used to come on Channel 20 here in our area.
Okay. I probably saw it, but
don't
He got a video game on Super
Sounds
Nintendo.
vaguely
as well.
familiar.
if Hannibal was in the chat, he would know where Synthoids comes from.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he definitely would. Where is he today?
Nah, I don't know. Anyway, so this topic, the main event, is all about some of the worst video game movies that we've seen, over the
Ever.
course of history. Now, obviously, we're gonna have a whole lot to pick from. I mean, we can pick directly from Uwe Boll's movies
Yes, we
and just
could.
be done with it. But no, we'll expand it a little bit because obviously, a few months back we had Sonic the Hedgehog, which I think we can all consider was a pretty
Good.
damn good video game movie.
Yep.
Yes, it was. Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
so let's start the topic. Let's not do a Uwe Boll movie because that'd just be too
No,
easy.
he's in there.
That's just
Unfortunately,
automatic.
he's in there.
That's
I
automatic.
found a list of 43, and apparently there's only 43.
43?
No. Not Uwe Boll movies. 43 video game
43
movies.
video game movies?
Ranked best to worst, and Uwe Boll is at the bottom, of course.
First of all, I didn't know there were 43 video game movies.
Why
Apparently,
wouldn't
there's 43 video games.
I didn't think there were 43 video game movies.
Think about how many years of video game movies we've had.
Yeah,
Yeah,
since
it's
the
been
90s.
like, what, 30 years?
Yeah,
Really?
that's
So
a
maybe
long
like
time.
only like
Yeah,
one or two a year. So,
Exactly.
Okay.
yeah.
All
That
right, so
sounds about right.
okay,
Yeah,
so-
probably
so-
did most of them.
all right, so pick one. And let's start
Well, it's
ripping.
kind of hard to pick one. I'm gonna go. If you don't want Uwe Boll, and that's gonna be difficult. I'm starting at the bottom, but the second from the top is Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oof.
Oh my
All
god.
right. Okay. And that's fair.
As the kids say nowadays, that movie was straight
That
trash.
shit was
Here's the
trash.
They should have yeeted that right into a
shit was
dumpster
trash.
fire.
Here's the
Yeet
thing.
it.
Here's the
Yeet
thing on Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I sat in that movie, and I was hoping the movie was
Oh,
gonna get
man.
better. I mean, I was just like, sometimes you got to go to the bathroom in the middle of a movie, but it's a movie you ain't seen yet, so you're like, damn, if I go to the bathroom, I'm gonna miss something. So I held it.
Yeah.
I held it for the rest of the movie. And now here's the thing: if anybody has seen the movie, I held it from the moment that Katana and Liu Kang got separated. So that basically lets you know that happened about 20 minutes in.
Into the movie.
So no, 20 minutes into the movie. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm holding it. I'm like, it'll get better though. I can't go to
It's
the
gotta
bathroom
get
yet. It's got to get better. Man, that movie. Oh my god, dog.
There's no score.
That movie
Not
was
get better at
that
all.
movie was
And it's
terrible.
How they
Terrible.
go down
My
from the
feelings.
first one being good,
Yeah.
and then that one's just like
The first one. Here's the thing: the first one was very good in the sense of it was serviceable because it had to be PG-13.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it's like, okay, I get it. You guys can't show blood, guts, and violence and all the great stuff that makes the video game great. But Johnny Cage was cool. Liu Kang was decent. Scorpion and Sub-Zero is the only thing I even cared about. Like the first, man, oh goodness.
Johnny
All the-
Cage was in his element because of
Yeah.
what his character was for the movie. So that had no point. That had no reason to be anywhere near bad.
Still should have lost though, but other than that,
Yeah. First of all, Scorpion kicked him in the head so many times he should have been dead.
Stomping his head, as Stone Cold says, stomping a mud hole
Hell
in his
yeah,
ass.
he was.
Or a hellhole for
man.
him. But yeah, if we want to go to another one that's not Uwe Boll, let's look
say
at
Mario.
Well, Mario's on there, and it's ranked number 19 on this list. And this is
Yes.
the ratings. It's not like an arbitrary list. It's the best ratings from
Oh,
number
God.
1 to 43. And Mario apparently was rated better than Tomb Raider. Was rated better than
Wait,
Resident Evil.
Super Mario?
Super Mario Brothers was rated, but it got a Rotten Tomato of 23%, and so it's ranked at number 19. But
See-
that movie was and it was like one of the first.
It was one of the early. It was one of the earlier ones.
And
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I don't
was the
remember
first
seeing
one.
it in the theater, but I know I saw it
Mario
in
was
the
the
theater, but I
first
don't
one.
remember
Was
seeing
it?
it in the theater.
That movie
It might
was
have been the
terrible.
first video
It
game.
probably was
movie.
one of the first ones because you got to
Mario
remember.
was like the first Hollywood video game based movie. Like it was the first of its kind at the time.
Wait, it came before
So-
Double Dragon.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Let's
it
see
did.
where's
Double Dragon
I
came-
think it did.
Okay.
Double Dragon was like a year or two after.
Okay. Because all I know is with Mario,
Double Dragon's not on this
I've
list.
always
They
like-
forgot a movie.
I've always liked.
Double Dragon's pretty
I've always
bad.
liked John Leguizamo. He's always been a great actor.
Yeah.
That's
But-
probably one of the reasons
Bob
it
Hoskins was
got
great.
somewhat of a positive rating.
No, Bob Hoskins, bro. Like that was like
Bob Hoskins was
coming
great.
off coming off the popularity of Who Framed
Framed
Roger
Who Framed
Rabbit.
Roger
Then you
Rabbit?
had
Yeah.
the
and
man
Hook.
playing
And
Mario.
Hook.
Like,
Yeah.
come on.
No, I got you on all of that.
Oh my
Captain Lou
God,
Albano is
Hook.
still my Mario, but I mean, like, you know,
Mario Brothers Super
hey,
Show.
Captain Lou Albano was that deal.
Yeah, he was.
You got a mouse all over the screen
Super
somehow.
Mario Brothers.
Captain Lou
Super
Albano, yeah, Captain Lou Albano was a good Mario, but nah, it's.
Do you remember the theme song though?
Of course, do the Mario. Take one step and then again. Let's do the Mario all together now.
Come on.
That show was awesome, man.
94
That show
is when
was
Double
dope.
Dragon
It was-
came.
94.
it was
Okay,
it was
that's fair.
only awesome for the
And it's
Zelda
got a
segments. I don't
13.
care.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Double Dragon came out in 90, the same year as Pulp Fiction?
Apparently.
Hey, I don't even remember.
Did Street Fighter come out in
Yeah.
You put it
94?
like that.
Yeah.
Mario
Street
came
Fighter
out in
come out in
93.
94?
Yeah, and Street Fighter. Street
Yeah.
Fighter, I believe, came out in 94
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I
they
remember
both
seeing
come out
that.
the
It came
same
out
year.
around
Yeah, I thought
Christmas.
so.
And I went to go see that with my uncle because I didn't see my uncle in California a bit, and he brought his girlfriend who I met for the first time, and we went to go see that movie, and I thought it was great. And I'm sitting in the movie. After the movie's over, I was trying to convince myself that the movie was good. I was just like,
That's a bad thing.
I think a lot of them did that as
He's
kids.
sitting here going through his he going through his memory banks and like, man, hey, Ryu did a fireball though.
yeah, I was like,
I mean,
yeah,
you kind
and
of
it
did a
was kind
fireball.
of a dragon punch, dude. They got Vega right.
Dude,
Do we
Vega was
remember how
perfect.
the Sonic
Raul
Boom
Julia,
was performed?
yeah, Raul Julia Raul Julia did way better than that movie deserved.
Yeah.
Because he was an amazing M. Bison from just the psychology and just the way he approached the role. And he was sick during the whole time. That's what's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Pulled the A+
Oh, my
performance out while he was dying.
All right,
like,
ready for another non-Uwe Bowl?
Yes.
I think we've all seen this one. It starred The Rock.
Uh-oh.
Doom.
Yeah.
Doom. And Carl
I didn't
Urban.
hate the movie. I did not hate that movie.
appreciated the FPS.
What's up, Brian
part.
Canyon over on Facebook, and Alvin Davis says, "What's up, Gypsy?"
All right, go ahead, Gypsy.
What's
What you
happening
said?
over there,
guys?
y'all?
You said you what about the movie? About Doom? Go ahead.
No, that's it. No, I was saying like I didn't hate Doom. Like I didn't think it was a good movie, but I didn't think it was like the worst I'd ever seen. Because for one, like Carl Urban did his thing, and I really like Carl Urban as an actor. I think he's like one of the most underrated actors of our generation, to be honest. And you know, for what he was given, what they did in the movie, I thought the movie was decent. It's decent to watch. And honestly, even though like it kind of took me out of the movie a little bit, I still thought the concept of them doing the first part, the FPS part, was cool. But I think like halfway through that part, it kind of took me out of it. I think like once it got to like when they actually brought in like the actual like demon dog thing from like the actual game.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
and like I think like
that was the guy Pinky though. That was the guy they morphed him into that, and it worked kind of.
Right,
sort of.
like it kind of did, but I just think like once it got to that part, like it kind of took me out of it just a little bit, but it's entertaining enough to
When's the last time
watch.
you watched it? When's the last time you watched it?
It's been a while.
Yeah,
It's
you might wanna go back and watch it.
My favorite
But
part
it's-
is that.
it's
Oh,
been
go
a
ahead,
while.
Go ahead, just go ahead.
The thing about that is that was something that they had to do. There was no way they could walk out of there without taking a shot at giving that little subtle nod to their source material.
Mm-hmm.
I hate being a developer now. It just
See
it
everything
opened my
for what it
eyes
is.
like for so other.
All right, well, hold on real quick on Doom. One of the things I like about Doom was The Rock's part when he was basically about to get dragged in, and he was like, "I'm not supposed to die." I thought that was hilarious. I was like, dude, fourth wall all the way. That was
real.
awesome.
It's like, I'm The Rock.
All
I'm
right,
not
all
supposed to
right.
die.
Here's another random one for his action game starring Mark Wahlberg. You guys remember this one?
No,
Max Payne.
Oh,
Max
goodness.
Payne.
Yeah, we
Okay.
kind
that
of wasted
was
an evening going to see
such a
that movie.
letdown.
I think
don't
my
remember.
memory
Such a
burned it out
letdown.
of my memory.
Yeah, same here. Because like I remember going to the theater. I remember there was an issue because when we got to the theater, everybody was like, "We don't want to see Max Payne," and one person in our group was like, "I came here to see Max Payne."
You know what I would have said? Check this out.
Right.
I'll help you out. I'm buy your ticket. You go have
Go
fun
see that.
watching Max
Right.
Payne.
You go see
'Cause
that. We're
going to go see
something
something good.
Yeah,
You're right.
we should have most definitely did that, but we didn't, and we all went. And I literally do not remember anything in Max Payne. At,
Brian Cannon says
At all.
Max
I
Payne was
just-
complete trash.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
complete
It's like,
trash.
look, the only good thing I can say about Max Payne is that the movie looked good. Cinematography
Oh
in
yeah,
the movie
it
was
looked
actually not
amazing
The
from the
lighting and
trailers.
everything, they
It
nailed
looked
it,
amazing
yeah.
from the trailers, but then I remember that Mark
It looked
Wahlberg was
good,
in
but
the movie.
everything else about the movie was just god awful. It was like the blandest movie I had watched that year.
Right.
and it was
They-
just
they even
like, I
made Mila
just-
Kunis like kind of boring.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's usually
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, like it's just like, how do you make a movie? Like, how do you turn Max Payne, make a movie, and make it bland? Like
that movie could have been so much better than what it was.
But
But
we needed Poets of the Fall actually too. That made me upset.
which one?
Poets of the Fall, the group that did Late Goodbye. The song that was carried out through Max Payne.
Oh, you're talking about the movie. You're talking about the
I
music.
do,
Okay,
I
I got
do.
you.
Yeah,
I
they left out a
Okay.
lot of the once again the little subtle nods that you have to do sometimes to keep people immersed into it. There was too much missing from it for it to be a good Max Payne movie.
Well, you know, sometimes they be like,
Yeah.
"Look, we got the name. We about to go ham on our own idea. We're just gonna throw the name on it
yeah.
though."
All right, so
my thing is, as long as they didn't have like the blood trail scene in there, well, that was good.
I don't know. The blood trail scene would have made that movie interesting to me.
yeah, it probably would have been really.
No, I
interesting.
couldn't.
Wrong
I couldn't,
actor.
dude.
You wouldn't be able to pull off how deep that scene was.
Oh, of course not. Mark Wahlberg would have been asking who.
Yeah.
He'd have been who, what, where, why, and why. That's his
Like,
range.
hey guys,
It's
like
time
what's
to move
going
to
on,
Uwe
guys?
Boll movie.
All right, movie, bowl movie. What you got? Because there's one that I think you've missed.
No,
But go ahead.
I didn't miss it. Now, in my honest opinion, this movie should be the worst one on the list, and unfortunately, it's not.
Blood Rain?
Out of the 43, out of the 43 that's on there, it's ranked at 41, and I'm pissed.
House
It should
of
be
the Dead?
43.
Yeah.
House of the
Dead. House of the
fucking
fucking
Dead.
dead. This shit was terrible. dude.
Gosh.
I remember we was watching that at your house.
Yeah,
one time.
I downloaded it. I torrented or whatever back then. I don't care.
man.
And I still wanted my money back. I was like, this movie, I
Now-
cannot believe it. And I've mentioned this every single time about this movie because I've only seen it once, but I remember this too much where they were fighting off the zombies, shooting at zombies, trying to get away from what you call it. Some girl gets attacked by a goddamn zombie. The guy just standing there and looks at her. They get into the thing, and then they have a flashback of the scene that just happened.
Yep.
And I was like, who shot this? What kind of director would do a flashback literally? The next scene after it actually happened. I was like,
Well, the worst was standing there watching the girl get eaten by the zombies.
yeah, just stood there looking. Could have helped her.
Right.
Just stood there and looked at her like,
See, you know what? Look, I have two things to say about this damn movie. Number
All right.
one, I warned my best friend to not watch this movie after I had seen it, and curiosity got the best of him, and he watched it anyway,
Oh,
and
man.
now he regrets it. I
Yep.
told him everything what to expect. He still saw it. The second thing I have to say, that the only positive thing I have to say about this movie was Blood Rain was worse.
really?
Wow.
Nah, I didn't see
Okay.
Blood Rain.
Well, here's the
Really?
funny
Blood
thing.
Rain was
DOA.
far worse.
Oh, I thought DOA was freaking
DOA was
entertaining.
serviceable.
Yeah, it was entertaining because it went in as a joke. They didn't try to make it serious, and they
Yeah.
I think they did a good job with not making it serious, but not making it as bad as Uwe Boll.
But yeah, but I mean, like
Right.
even that one scene though, he's just sitting there watching her get eaten. Oh my God, they're eating her. Now they're gonna come and eat me too. Oh
then-
my God.
and then, of course-
that's all I can think of. It's like, dude, why are you standing there? Like you have a gun. Start shooting, man.
Right.
Oh,
And
hilarious.
then of course the cardinal sin they committed when we actually seen like the arcade footage clipped in.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
They kept using shots from the game as transitions. I'm like, come on,
Oh
dude.
man.
And the worst part is they was using
not
it from the
only
Japanese
that,
version, so
not
it was all
only
green
that.
blood. I'm like,
It's not only that, but they also did the whole like red transition when people died in the
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
how
they
like
did.
when you die and they do like the red trans. They did that
I
in
mean,
the
like,
movie.
Once again,
hey,
you
like
have
Gypsy
to
said.
have those subtle
Yeah, you got to have
nods,
them little
but
nods in there.
executing them is the thing.
That's not subtle. That's not subtle at all.
Oh, you know.
Yeah. She was
They
terrible.
tried.
Not subtle.
right, what
we're
else you got,
we're
Dado?
picking another Uwe Boll movie, and we're gonna go with. I forgot that this movie even existed.
What?
This is the last on the list. The worst movie as they think it is. It's Alone in the Dark.
Oh yeah. Alone in the
forgot
Dark.
that. I
That was
forgot
actually a
that
pretty
movie
decent
came out.
game
I
too.
totally
Oh, the
forgot
game was
about
always
it.
good.
Yeah, the
Bits
game
and
was good.
pieces of that. I never saw it in its entirety. I only saw bits and pieces of it.
Oh, I forgot about this game too. Postal. That's another Uwe Boll movie.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Gary Coleman?
Yeah, Gary Coleman was. And that's the thing is, they put Gary
He was
Coleman
in-
in the game.
They used him
Yes,
They put him in the
the
game
game.
before the movie, and so they
Wow.
put him in the movie because he was in the game.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
dude.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, Agent 47 was that bad? Well, I didn't. See
Yeah, that's
that
what I heard
one.
a lot of people say. Agent
Oh, no, no,
47.
no,
Like
no.
the first Hitman was good.
wasn't great.
No, the second
first
one-
No,
was
the
But they
second
said-
one was better, man. The
Yeah,
second
really?
one was
But
way
they
better
said,
than the
yeah,
first
but they
one.
said
The second one I heard
Am I getting
was
it mixed up?
bullshit.
Yeah.
The second one is ranked 36.
Agent 47 is the second Hitman
Yeah.
movie because the first one was just called Hitman.
Yeah,
Right.
The first one is
Right.
ranked 32, and the second one is ranked 36 for
Wow.
their
I'm sorry,
list.
dude. The
Why?
second
Because it
one
had
was
more
better,
action
man.
in it. I mean, what?
No,
I
the
mean,
second one was better because Timothy Oliphant does not make a good Hitman.
no.
He just doesn't. Like the guy that they had in the
Well,
second one
no.
looked more the part. He had the piano wire and was killing people at the beginning. So like he was doing it the way it's supposed to be done. Timothy Oliphant was over here hiding guns and ice
gonna have to
buckets
watch
and
it.
stuff.
I'm
They
gonna have to
should
watch
have
it.
just
That
destroyed it and got it over and done with, hired Statham and just had one good movie, whatever it would have been
Well,
movie, and got it out of the way.
well, to
Maybe.
be fair, like somehow Uwe Boll got Jason Statham to do a movie for him.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah, he
Like,
did.
like,
Return of the King.
So
Yeah.
so what do they
Which-
consider actually
In the
really
name of
good?
the king.
Like, are they considering Pokemon movies on this list?
Oh yeah, Pokemon movies is on this list, and no, it's not ranked very high. The
Where's
first
Detective?
Pokemon movie is at 31.
Wow, really?
Yeah, at
As worse
15%.
as worse movies.
Yeah, 15%. It got this ranking is based off the Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, here's the problem.
Okay.
First Pokemon movie should have ended as soon as Ash got killed. If it had been me making that movie, Ash would have got killed. Mewtwo would have ended it right there. That would have been boom credits. It would have been worse than Optimus Prime died for them kids.
Humanity,
wanted a whole bunch of
power
kids.
of
I would have
friendship.
started a whole other Optimus Prime died
Yeah.
type of situation with these people.
But
We not
power of
talk about
friendship,
Prime
man.
here.
All right, so okay, here's one that's gonna upset everybody.
Uh-oh.
Assassin's Creed.
You know, there was a lot of high hopes for that movie.
Really?
Another bland film.
Yeah, because of
Another
Michael
bland film.
Fassbender.
Yeah, okay.
Because of Michael Fassbender, there was a lot of high hopes for that movie.
You must have not watched no trailers.
That was another
I'm
bland film,
saying before the
unfortunately.
trailers came out, there was a lot of high hopes for this movie. Then the trailers came out, and it was just like terrible.
Ooh.
Mm.
It's like,
Terrible.
yeah.
What,
Like Assassin's Creed was supposed to be the chosen one, and it failed us all.
Yeah. So Assassin's Creed was where?
Assassin's Creed was ranked at I moved on. It's 27, believe it or not.
All right, here's the thing. And Hand of Omega brought this up in the chat. I'm going to hook him up. I want to give him a little bit of a shout out here. Where is Legend of Chun-Li ranked?
Oh,
Bro.
all right,
Bro.
Legend of Chun-Li is
Oh my!
it's ranked at 38.
Why?
38.
Yes,
38 out of
40.
40.
So
Wait.
it's near the bottom.
Near the
Over
bottom.
So,
what?
okay.
Over what?
It's over Postal and Blood Rain is 39. So
What's the
Postal is
third?
37.
How? Okay. So this
Okay,
list, if it's number one,
I'll give it
Number
that.
one
Number
is
one is
good.
the best.
Number one is the best.
We're
of
not
the
gonna.
worst.
We're not talking
Yeah,
about
we're
those movies.
staying away
Because
from
if you
that.
want to,
Okay,
if you
okay.
want to know what those movies are,
No. I don't want to know. Yeah, I don't know. I just we'll stick with the worst because another really bad one, which really offended me personally, was Wing Commander.
Okay.
Wing Commander.
no.
34.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
I was such a fucking fan of Wing Commander.
I never saw
growing
it.
up as Chris Roberts had created like this space opera. You know, the human, Earth Federation against the Kilrathi Empire, and this movie was just so trash.
So the movie just forgot all about the source material, huh?
It did. It looked nothing like the game.
Where was Tekken on this list again?
It's not on the list, surprisingly.
Wait,
So this list isn't
Wait,
complete
wait,
then.
wait.
It's not.
Tekken is not on the list.
Tekken's not on the list.
What I think it is
Theatrical?
things that theatrical
release.
because
Okay.
House of the Dead 2 didn't
Okay.
come out in the theaters.
Yeah.
Tekken didn't come out in
What,
the theaters.
what about King of Fighters either, right?
Yeah, King of Fighters
King
didn't
of
come
Fighters
out in
either.
the theaters.
King
Maggie
of
Q
Fighters.
is my Shiranui.
King
Come
of
on.
Fighters, King of Fighters was all over the place.
First of all, look, that wasn't even the worst offender in the movie.
No,
Like,
it wasn't.
To be honest, it's
No.
like she wasn't even the worst offender. The worst offender was fucking Sean Ferris. And Studio Kusanagi.
Okay,
That was the worst offender
That's
there.
agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
I'll
But,
give you that.
Again,
I'll give you that.
Terry sending the text message, "Are you okay?" was the best part about that entire movie. That was
you okay?
literally the coolest little Easter egg they could have stuck in that movie. Everything else was terrible.
You
I'm
know,
like,
I forgot
dude,
about that because that Terry Bogard was like a terrible.
he was terrible. Here's the
But
worst
the
part.
costume, the
I
costume worked.
knew he was.
Well, the
terrible.
costume. Well,
It's not hard to do a Terry
FBI,
Bogard costume.
You can go to Hot Topic right
It's
now.
not
Terry
hard,
Bogard
but it
costume.
looked like him. Like
Oh, no,
could see- looked
you're
right at it.
absolutely
You're like,
right.
oh,
But
shit,
What are you talking
here-
about? He looked like he was on a fishing trip in that movie.
He may have been.
He
He
not
may
look like he
have
was
been.
ready to throw down with anybody.
He
in that
may
movie.
have been,
Whoever
but
made
like,
the costume should get more credit than the person who wore it.
and that's fine. But here's the problem: you had a really great martial artist cast as Rugal, but it was still a miscast because it's like Rugal's supposed to be like taller than me,
Yeah.
and Ray Park ain't tall, like at all.
He's not.
He's
Like
not.
it was just weird because like the way they just wrote his character in the movie in general just was like it was just no. Like
Yeah, it was bad. And now here's another one that got even worse, and I think it only had an anime, was Virtua Fighter. Because Virtua Fighter's anime, it's like, first of all, Virtua Fighter don't even have a story to begin with. So I
Right.
don't know what
Never
story
seen
y'all
it.
are trying to tell.
So-
but Virtua Fighter as an anime was terrible.
Terrible.
Like, why?
and for those that wonder, they do have the whole series on Amazon
Oh,
Prime.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, they
And
do.
I have
Yeah,
watched
they do.
it.
Don't watch
That
it.
was for
Don't watch it.
one like this. put it this way: it's very classic early '90s anime.
Oh, yeah,
That's number
without a
one.
doubt.
Yeah.
Very classic early '90s anime, but it by far has the worst intro theme I've ever heard for anime.
Enough.
Oh my lord.
Let's
I have the video game
Let's
version of
get
that on-
one
on
more
Game
real.
Gear.
Let's get one more real good stinker and then turn it over to the power.
One
people.
more good stinker. What is a good stinker? Because like there's a lot of them that are famous. Okay, this one probably is. I've never seen it
If we're
myself.
talking about Hollywood movies,
Yeah, this is Hollywood,
yeah.
and it came out. It's actually ranked above Super Mario Brothers, but I don't know how it is personally because I never watched it. Need for Speed.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Did
How
anybody
do
never
you mess
watched
up a
it.
Need for
Okay.
Speed movie?
I never
Like,
watched
how
it.
do you mess up a Need for Speed movie? I'm being serious.
You forget the fact that Fast and the Furious exist, and you don't need
Yes.
to do another one.
It's not that the Need for Speed movie was bad. It came out with the wrong competition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was
They
a
were trying to
space that was-
capitalize on.
On Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Well, dude,
They
hey,
should have went for like more of an underground thing to where it
Right.
was just night races. Leave it at races. Don't
Like
no
literally.
crime, no just
See-
none of that. Just race.
Right.
And they would have been fine. They tried to do Fast and Furious stuff and get real deep with it when all Need for Speed is a racing game. There is no deep.
Well, hey,
See, but
real,
this, is the-
real
this
quick.
is the funny thing about that, though,
Uh-huh.
is that even with them doing that, they've also tried to do the exact same thing before with Biker Boys and Torque. Like,
See,
it didn't work.
stole my thunder. That's what I was about to bring up was Torque. You know what the funny thing about Torque? I don't think I've ever seen a home release of that. Like I've
I
looked it
haven't.
up. It's
Torque
like
was the
No, I had
motorcycle.
it. Yeah, it was a
one with
motorcycle
Ice Cube,
movie.
Cube was
Yeah.
in it?
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah,
Ice Cube was
Nah,
in it.
Ice Cube was in that.
Yeah,
yeah, he was.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
the
he
he
was.
was the
He
main
had- he had
antagonist.
Well,
Okay.
not
I don't
really,
remember.
but
Yeah, I
yeah.
remember like it being the dude that the main no, I remember the main dude being the main antagonist being like this was the guy that played Vince in
Ice Cube was trained.
yeah.
He was in
He
Okay,
wound up
well.
being the real antagonist,
Oh,
but they
well.
portrayed Ice Cube as an antagonist in the trailers.
oh
So
well.
it's like
All I can say is I need to find that movie so I can make a horrific review of it because that movie, that movie was so bad. And they was trying to make
Especially
fun
like
of
that
Fast
last-
and the Furious. They was sitting there calling themselves making fun of Fast and the Furious. I'm like, y'all ain't on this.
I don't
level.
know
It's on
why
Blu-ray.
it's so dark
Best
and
Buy has it
gritty,
on
though.
BestBuy.com.
All right, might have to get it.
$14.99.
I might have to wait.
Oh no.
DVD is $11.99. I bet you go to our that
Disc replay.
not either this replay or that place in Clawson that we like to go to. What's the name of that place?
Flip side.
Yeah. I think they might have it.
Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure anybody that gets that, they probably burn it as soon as it comes in. They'd be like, "Nah, dude, we can't have this on
Nobody
the shelves.
wants this movie.
We can't have this on the show. That's like putting a virus in the store."
Oh boy.
I think Torque is COVID-18.
Oh
So
shit.
I'm just
Wow.
saying. But eventually I might get that movie, possibly.
Right.
All right, turn it over.
Okay, so the power is yours, everybody. Let's get to chatting and what you want to talk about.
it's like it's not a really long list. Like it's not a really long list of like video game movies, but a good chunk of them are pretty bad.
Pretty gosh darn bad.
we need a big
They
screen
didn't-
though.
So Mr. Virgo Mortis is asking, didn't they make a Spy Hunter movie? No, they were
They were
supposed to.
supposed to, and they
with
never
The
did.
Rock.
Yeah,
With The Rock.
Yeah.
You know what I think
That-
what happened?
that-
Because Spy Hunter is midway, right? And The Rock was underneath that contract, and Spy Hunter didn't happen. It morphed into Rampage because Rampage is also a midway game, so they probably put it in there to
Make
justify.
that, do that make good.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Video game though, with featuring him though, like it was on PS2. Like I think whatever
And they advertised the crap out of it.
Yeah,
being
they
one.
did the video game.
They were supposed to have it, and it would have been interesting. It would have been kind of neat. It would have been kind of cool, but they never did it.
I don't think there's ever been a Metal Gear movie.
no.
It
Kojima
needs to be.
I hear they're gonna do them, but see, the thing is about Metal Gear. I don't know what's holding up, but I heard something about it, and I know that Kojima wants to get into directing movies because one of the big things, even though he did video games, is he really liked movies a lot as
big
well.
time. Big time.
And I think it'd be kind of cool if freaking Kojima actually directed it, but Konami still owns the rights to that stuff. It's probably never gonna happen because I think we get the best Metal Gear movie with
it's
him.
kind of a combination of that and plus like Kojima was just like, dude, like no one that I do not deem worthy is touching this franchise.
There you go.
No.
Well, no, that's Kojima's baby. He deserves to have some say in that. Head of Omega saying PS Store in-store sale ends today. I thought that already ended. I could have swore that already ended.
I don't know.
Days of Play. I think Days of Play ended on like the 17th or something like that.
I didn't buy
It was the 24th. It is today.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
That's today.
They're always throwing up like flash sales, like every.
They
other-
are, because I mean, I tried to get some of my friends, Mr. Wolverine Solid X, tried to hook him up with Arkham Knight for like $4 or something.
Well,
And I think
they're
he had
pumping
missed
out all this stuff now because everything that you download from the free now things or buy from the sales, once you get the PS5, it's going to translate over, and a lot of the newer ones will get shinier, updated versions.
Which
Oh,
is
yeah, without a
super
doubt.
awesome, running at faster
Yeah, so
frame
go
rates
ahead and
higher
get whatever they got.
Nice.
it. Okay, Days of Play was 617. Yep. So it's a different thing. Okay, that's what it was. All right, cool. John P says, remind me of the Halo movie getting scrapped and turned into District 9.
Really?
Pretty much.
Yeah, originally
That doesn't seem like
it was supposed to be a Halo movie, and it wound up becoming that because of licensing or whatever the hell.
It was because they knew better.
Yeah, that's fair. That's also
No,
fair.
that was one of those. Somebody made a smart move and said, "Hey, wait until something like 2020 when we have the technology to do it."
That's fair, that's the one thing I think that you run into with a lot of movies and video game movies, especially, is some of the ideas just will not work if you don't have the tech behind them. Like Metal Gear could
so
be
make
done.
something lesser.
Yeah, because Metal Gear could be done because it's essentially a sneaking movie. Realistically,
They need
sneaking.
to do Metal Gear Solid 3. Start off with 3.
We've kind of had that though, in a sense. You got Rambo. Rambo 2 is a little bit of that. You got Predator. Like, you've had movies that have been in the jungle before, and that's essentially what that would just be. It would be another jungle movie. I think Metal Gear Solid as a starting point would be a very interesting concept, because not only do you get your military action and their sneaking action and espionage, you get your sci-fi element with people like Psycho Mantis and Vulcan Raven and all those crazy characters. I think if they did it and cast it right, and it has to be 2 hours long at a bare minimum. I actually wouldn't even mind if they go to like 2.5.
I would appreciate if they would start off like as hard as they possibly could, and then take the money and the tech that they get from that and make a good Metal Gear movie. But give us what was that, Rising with Raiden? Just give us an action movie where you got a robotic ninja beating the hell out of everything with a sword. Get everybody pumped and hyped, get some money out of it, say, hey, this is how fast our tech can move and this is how good it can look, and then get people to back the Metal Gear and do it right. I would appreciate something
Here's
like
the
that
thing,
happening.
though, and I know you've played it. You know that game goes ridiculously hard. Like, they're going to have
with the stuff that we can do now, somebody would nail that as a movie better than making a Metal Gear.
I don't doubt that, but we're trying to figure out which studio is going to let it go hard like it can go. That's the problem.
See, for me, the only studios that I would trust, I would fairly trust to be able to pull it off, and it's a very short list, is possibly, see, if they get their shit together, Universal could do it.
Universal would do
They
it.
were about to be the one studio that I was gonna say could do it. Probably. I don't trust Warner Brothers. I don't want them anywhere near a Metal Gear Solid movie.
Right.
Disney wouldn't touch that with
you got to leave Paramount out of it too, because then they'll just get Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Paramount, but it's because of that. Yeah,
Paramount is automatically. Hey, let's see if Tom wants to do it.
See, Hannah Omega says Legendary Pictures could do it, but Legendary Pictures is a studio.
Lionsgate.
Yeah.
Lionsgate, but you got to give them budget though, and that's the.
Yeah, I was about to say, Lionsgate don't have Lionsgate money like they used to.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Right.
So other than that, I mean,
how deep down the rabbit hole is Sony Studios going to go? Because that would be the only other option.
See, that's another thing too. I was about to say, it was like TriStar and
TriStar is owned by Columbia.
Now,
That's
John
Sony.
P's got a great idea.
Columbia, like Columbia and
John P said?
TriStar.
John P said, "What about a Metal Gear anime like on Castlevania, like Netflix?"
No. We've had our anime. I want some live action. I'm tired of people going. No. I'm tired of people using the. We can just do an anime. You know what that means? That means we're
so much more.
Again, that means they're lazy.
Oh wow!
No. Skip that.
For a Metal Gear movie right now, it would just be Mission Impossible.
What about a Metal Gear?
I'm
TV
fine
show?
with that.
Because Rose saying it would be better. It would be better as a Netflix series.
As a 10-episode series, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
No,
I can see that.
Y'all,
I want more than 2 hours.
I see why you want to move, because the movie's good, but 2 hours is not enough to put in all that character development and all that other stuff.
Okay, I will yield to that part of it, but I want something live action. I don't care.
Yeah, live action,
because
fine.
I am past the point where back in the day it was like, man, I would love to see this as an anime, and that's fine because the tech wasn't there. The studios weren't cranking out like Avengers Endgame and Infinity War and stuff like that. Now that they are, I want my stuff back to live action with insane, crazy effects because anybody can draw whatever you want to draw, and that's fine. But I want the hard work to go behind it.
Let's boil it down, Metal Gear down to its essence, okay? If you were trying to do Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear 1, not even Metal Gear Solid. If you just do Metal Gear 1,
No, I'm doing Solid.
You'd have to do Solid because if you did Metal Gear 1, there's not enough characters. It's just Snake and a bunch of nondescript.
Exactly. That's why I'm doing Solid.
Right? Okay, so if you want Solid, right? Part of the problem with doing Metal Gear Solid is now you have to give development to all these different characters.
No, the freak you don't.
In a way, you kind of do.
No.
It's like,
You just have to cast it properly, but to go against whoever just said that in the chat, we do not need Tom Cruise as Snake.
Exactly.
No, we don't.
Right. Exactly.
We don't. We don't.
You gotta get David Hayter
playing Snake. Like,
hey, yeah, can we dub David Hayter's voice over anybody that plays Snake?
Here's who I would get to play Snake, and y'all already know who I'm gonna say. Scott Adkins. Scott Adkins could actually be a really good Solid Snake. Only for the reason that he can have that rugged look.
Yep.
Can he drop that accent?
Yeah. He drops the accent all the time.
He can drop it enough to make it believable. I think I've
did
seen
it for
him.
Ninja?
Dude, he played Boyka as he played a Russian.
Who played a Russian dude? Yeah.
He's a British dude, but he played a Russian guy in a pretty decent Russian accent. So he can drop his accent. And
It's
the
not
main
like
thing
having
is,
a Scottish guy do a Japanese accent.
right. There you go. But here's the thing. All right, now here's the thing. If we're gonna seriously do this, if he's gonna be Snake, you got to get a kick-ass Psycho Mantis, you got to get a kick-ass Liquid, and you got to get a kick-ass Revolver Ocelot.
Psycho Mantis could be
Wait,
as Gubler. What's his name?
I just thought about something. The thing is this: if we're going with Scott Adkins as Snake, then he would also have to play Liquid.
Not necessarily.
They're identical twins.
No, they're supposed to be clones of each other. I understand that.
Mads, yes, Mr. Rigor Mortis. Mads
Mikkelsen?
Yeah, he would be a dope ass Snake.
Okay.
Bro, yes,
Okay.
he would.
Wait a minute. What?
Yes, Mads Mikkelsen.
Mikkelsen.
He's a little bit old, though.
What?
And he could be Snake from
mean-
Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yes.
We're still on Metal Gear Solid 1 right
Mads
now,
could
doggone.
do it.
Still, like, in Metal Gear
Yes,
Solid, like,
he
wasn't
could.
Snake like pushing 40 in that game?
wasn't he
Snake?
so-
Nah, Snake's supposed to be like mid-30s in that first game.
We're talking cinematics here. I don't think Metal Gear is a cinematic that you can pin to one thing. You would have to combine the whole thing for people to understand what the hell they just
They
watched.
basically already did Mads. What was the name of that movie? It was on Netflix where it's like gosh, it's a very similar story about like John Wick, except for the guy was retiring, and this organization he worked for didn't want him to retire because when you retire, you get paid out like millions of dollars. So they try to stick other assassins. Yeah, Polar. He kind of looked like freaking old ass Snake in there. Here's that picture right here, dude. Look at that.
All right, well, Roy Berger says he wanted Henry Cavill to be the voice of Snake. He would have sounded like The Witcher, though.
It would have sounded like The Witcher, which isn't bad. His Geralt is damn good.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, his Geralt is damn good.
I mean, the thing. All right, who's gonna be Meryl?
Okay, pick random.
Why would you
hot
say
girl
something like
of
that?
the month.
Random hot
For
girl.
real? Who's
Random
gonna be Meryl?
hot girl of the month.
Toe
No,
thumbs.
it doesn't have to be a random hot girl.
Sure
Toe
does.
thumbs. What's her name?
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Something would have to be
Hell
dedicated
no.
towards the end of like Ariana Grande or some crap.
Wow.
Like we just can't put that out there and let it hang.
Wow.
You
Wow.
need someone
No
that
way.
looks like they've actually gone through boot camp and actually had some military training to some degree. Okay.
Don't say
Miss
Charlize
Petty out
Theron
there?
either. Then
No, she's too
Get
old.
Lori, bring her ass back in.
It has to be at least a hot actress that's at least on the sporty side.
40. Dang, man.
In what fucking
40.
world is Meryl 40? What the hell are you talking about?
I said sporty side.
He said
Oh, you
sporty.
said sporty. Okay.
What the hell is 40 supposed to mean?
Like the Spice Girls. Come on now.
athletic.
Can we bring
Like
our
somebody-
descriptions back out of the 70s, please?
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody says that girl
Somebody-
in The Mandalorian like he doesn't know Gina Carano's name.
Gina Carano cannot be
No,
Meryl.
she cannot.
She's too thick to be Meryl.
She's way too thick to be
Emma
Meryl.
Stone.
Emma Stone's.
Who said that?
She's showing her age.
Excuse me?
King Takeem said Emma Stone.
Okay.
Emma Stone's showing her age.
Karen
No, thank
Gillan
you.
as Meryl. I don't know. She might.
Karen Gillan is the
be-
girl that plays Nebula, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and she is natural redhead. So
She was also in Jumanji, the new ones.
she could be an interesting Meryl.
yeah, she could be an interesting Meryl. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, I like that. I like that pick.
All
I
right.
like that pick. Karen Gillan is Meryl. I like that.
Meryl.
Who's gonna be Revolver Ocelot though?
I can go with
Revolver
that.
Ocelot could have been.
It's gotta be Sam Elliott.
No. Revolver Ocelot could have been Clint Eastwood before
John
he went
Lithgow.
crazy.
No, it's gotta be Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. No, Sam Elliott's old as hell too.
Yeah, John
He
Lithgow.
is, but
He's got a
Sam could
great
do it,
voice.
though.
Don't get me wrong. Sam Elliott's voice is great, but he's too old.
he's
From like
too
the
old.
early
Dude, Elliot could pull that off at 90, bro.
Ro, get out the chat.
disagree with that.
Come on, Ro.
Ro trying to get the
come
entire
on.
movie changed.
Bro,
He's trying to get the movie He's trying to get the movie changed into Meryl.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other person I
Silver
can think
Fox,
of, like,
Madonna.
but
Okay.
like I could think of like William Hurt maybe.
William Hurt and Sam Elliott and all them are in the same boat. They're a little bit too old. I understand
We
Revolver
don't have
Ocelot's supposed
another
to be an
one, though.
older dude, but
we don't have anyone with that type of jaw at this point.
they get a prosthetic
Like
jaw.
Eastwood's gone.
You gotta
Like,
Prosthetic jaw. What the hell?
I'm pretty sure there is an actor out there that could be
absolutely.
Revolver Ocelot.
we don't have an Ocelot yet. I haven't
Oh,
seen
hey,
anybody.
yes we do.
It says
Liam Neeson. Skip all of y'all. Liam Neeson as
Liam
Revolver
Neeson.
Ocelot.
Ian McShane. Monday's right. Ian McShane as Revolver Ocelot would not be bad.
Okay, I still want who did I just say? Dang it. Ian McShane kind of huh?
Roberger said Scott Eastwood.
Oh yeah, Liam Neeson. I still want Liam Neeson in the movie somehow. I don't
Yeah,
care.
Ian McShane, I can see him.
Yeah, Ian McShane would be good.
Isn't he still suffering from the
No,
blackballing a little bit?
Hey. I'm 100% on his side on that one. If somebody that was of a different color had just attacked somebody that I know, I'd have been pissed and going after. Again, if somebody white had messed up somebody that I know,
So you think it's been
I'd
long
have been
enough
on a
that cancel
rampage.
culture is
Again, F cancel culture, F all of them, because they're being real selective with their thinking. Because guess what? Every single time somebody go see a movie like Roots or they go see a movie like freaking Django, all of a sudden everybody get real mad about white people. So Liam Neeson was doing the exact same thing. Would just happen to be about black people at that
has the
moment.
curl. He could pull out his Hannibal from 18.
Oh hell yeah!
That would be dope as fuck.
All right, Monday. All right,
No,
Monday's back. Monday's back on the side of the Angels.
Yeah,
now.
that would be dope as hell. But Beyond is over there just trolling.
Bob Saget as who?
Bob Saget?
Yeah, really.
Hey, Bob Saget make a good Hal Emmerich, good Ocelot.
He would make a good Ocelot.
There you go. She wasn't trolling as much as you thought.
I have Emmerich.
Hey,
Like, I
King to
wouldn't
King,
believe it, but I can buy it.
King to King. You can't have Rock as Vulcan Raven anymore.
No.
He's gone beyond the playing a part.
No, he's too big.
He'd be
Way too big.
his horror part would be enormous all of a sudden.
Bautista
Yeah, because he couldn't die. You're right.
Bautista can't do it either. Bautista can't do it either.
Yeah, Batista doesn't have the
He's not dark enough.
You can get Braun Strowman's big ass though.
You could, but you'd have to
See,
put a lot of
I'm
bronzer
trying
on.
to think like someone who
You
kind
have
of
to
has
put a lot of
That's
bronzer
what filters
on
are
that dude.
for, man.
Oticon, not
someone
Ocelot,
who
that's
has
right.
that size, but and has like the skin tone to do it. Who's out there?
There's probably again. There's a wrestler that can do it. Let's just leave it at that. You could probably get one of them
Yeah.
strong men dudes too.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I gotta look at AEW.
now here's the thing. You don't even have to cast the DARPA chief because he's always dead.
Right.
You don't even have to cast Decoy Octopus because he's always the DARPA chief and he's already dead. So you don't have to cast none of them right there at all.
Right.
You gotta flesh him out.
Well,
cast
hold
it,
on. Now,
Decoy
there is
Octopus.
one last casting. You have to cast Sniper Wolf.
Sniper-
Who's gonna
Oh,
play
hell
her?
yeah.
Who's gonna play her?
Yeah, there we go.
'Cause
Okay.
Sniper Wolf is awesome.
All right, Sniper. Okay.
They need to get whoever. They need to get whoever is Silver Sable and Spider Man.
Psycho Menace is we're saving him for the end because he's almost impossible to cast,
I was
even though
gonna
he's in
say,
a mask.
What about Gray Fox as Ninja? Who could do
No,
that?
Paul Bet. I got it. I got
Scott
Bettany.
Atkins. Scott Atkins again.
Yeah,
God dog it.
Okay.
Scott Atkins will be playing against opposite Scott Atkins.
Yeah. Okay.
I already
Okay.
got one for Paul. I
so
already got
who
one
could
for,
be
Psycho
Sniper
Menace. Paul Bettany.
I'm like, who's just bad as hell out there in Hollywood that just to be Sniper Wolf?
That's a hard cast,
That is
man.
hard casting, man.
No, the girl from Anna. No, absolutely not.
No.
She looked weird.
No.
I don't care. I'm straight up. She looked weird to me.
Okay.
There's somebody, but I don't know. But
There's
you know what?
somebody out
Preem is right though. Who could be Psycho Mantis? Because that's gonna be the hard cast right there.
I got that.
Wow, Ace Arcadia, come on.
Did you guys ever see Sherlock on the BBC? The ones
Probably
with,
a few times.
The one with Benedict Cumberbatch?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
No.
The Moriarty from that.
Could be Psycho Mantis.
His name is Andrew Scott.
Andrew
That
Scott.
motherfucker. If you get a chance, try to watch that. Any one episode that's got Moriarty in that show. That motherfucker is psychotic. And
Okay.
would be an amazing Psycho Mantis.
Wow.
The actor's name is Andrew Scott.
Andrew Scott.
Wow.
All right.
Look
All
at
right.
look at these dudes. Okay, Ace Arcadia, Scarlet is as Sniper Wolf. Come on, dude.
Nope.
No.
No Charlize Theron
No
either.
Charlize Theron as Sniper Wolf either.
Nah. You need an up and coming. I would have, even though I've never seen her as a blonde, but I just got finished watching Bloodshot, and what's her name in Bloodshot was cute.
Hell yeah, Asa Gonzalez.
Yeah, Asa Gonzalez.
She was
I
fine as
don't know
hell.
what she would look like as a blonde though. Because
Fine as hell.
remember,
What about
Sniper-
Amber Heard from
Amber Heard's
Stop it.
on somebody's
Stop it.
somebody's blacklist right
Stop
now.
it.
'cause
No.
her-
She already in enough hot water. I don't necessarily want her removed from Aquaman, but
anything else.
I'm waiting for that whole defamation lawsuit with her and Johnny Depp to really play out before I pass judgment
All
on
right,
it.
hold on.
Like-
Rigor Mortis said the guy that plays all the weird stuff for Del Toro could be Psycho Mantis. I think he's talking about the dude
Wow.
that's in the
Wait.
Yeah,
Wait,
the
stop,
guy,
stop Monday.
Jones.
Stop
What's his
Monday.
name?
Man.
What's his name?
Monday.
Last name Jones. No, it's not Vinny Jones. He was in the
Jones?
huh?
Doug Jones?
Doug Jones. He would be Psycho Mantis because
Okay.
he was in
Okay,
that,
okay.
that
Okay.
fish.
Sapien. He
So-
played
so-
Yeah, Abe Sapien. He was
Okay.
in that fish movie that
Oh,
won the
yeah,
Oscar.
what's his
Color
name?
of Water.
He also was the body Doug Jones. He actually plays as
Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
the
Silver
Silver
Surfer.
Surfer, but he was also from he was Star Trek Discovery.
Nobody ever watched that.
Yeah, we did.
Like,
Not
I
on
didn't
purpose.
finish
On purpose, yes, we did.
Whatever, man. Have
On
fun
purpose,
with
Yeah,
that.
Doug Jones be a perfect
Doug Jones
Psycho
would be
Man.
good.
Okay, so Doug
He can do
Jones is
anything.
Psycho Mantis. Is I forgot how his voice sound. I guess either they can modulate it if they got to modulate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you gotta figure out what is-
so
wait.
King Takeem says
What fourth wall stuff is he gonna have though? Because you
Stop.
can't be talking about Castlevania and stuff. You got to be talking about like stuff that the audience would be. That would be
yeah.
interesting.
So Monday says
movies like The Rock and shit.
so Monday is
Yeah.
like Daisy Ridley as Sniper Wolf.
No.
King
Takeem Margot
says
Robbie as
Margot
Harley.
Robbie as Sniper Wolf.
No.
No.
She's just in everything.
Jodie
I'm-
Comer
I'm-
is from
Killing
Killing
Eve.
Eve. Can we look her up? Jodie Comer from Killing Eve.
Oh, hold on. Hand of Omega said that it's gonna be some lady with cat ears.
Ah,
Wait a minute. Who did he
that's
say?
hilarious.
What was her name?
Jodie
Jodie
Comer.
Comer. She's probably
Jodie
60 years old or something. He gonna have us on a wild goose chase.
No. She's real subtle with her approach. I could see something like that being an actual thing.
Okay.
Alice Eve.
Okay, Alice Eve would be fine as hell, but
Okay.
I think she might be a little on the old.
I don't know. Alice, she looks decent. Alice Eve. I don't know where she's been
So
in.
this is Jodie Comer.
That weird short hairstyle doesn't look right, but I don't know. Maybe.
Eh,
I want y'all to look up Matthew Gray and a picture of Psycho Mantis at the same time and tell me I'm not.
Matthew
Matthew
Gray.
Ray Grubler might be a dope.
What was he in?
That Negro dude.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. That's a
there's
good
this
one
girl
too.
That was in that show Euphoria.
King to King, stop it.
What do you say?
This
now?
fool just said Dame Judy Dench is Sniper Wolf.
This
He just saw Artemis Fowl.
This dude really.
Man, if that's the case, you may as well get what's her name that was in Red. Oh my God, what is
Helen
her
Mirren.
name? Yeah, Helen Mirren. You may as well get her too then. Sniper Wolf having flash forwards.
You know. No, I was almost gonna say Sydney Sweeney, but no.
Nah,
No.
she looks kind of
No.
funny looking and
She
young.
got the body, but not the face.
She looks young and
Yeah.
funny looking.
About Emily Van Camp.
Emily Van Camp, too wafy, maybe on the.
I don't know.
side?
Anyway,
I don't know.
again,
Yeah.
it's almost impossible because again, we're doing a fan cast for a movie that probably will never get made because
Right.
studios are dumb.
Okay,
like that.
now Roba Guerin said Helen Mirren. Now, if it was young Helen Mirren, hell yeah, I do.
Helen
Hell yeah.
Mirren was hot when she
Young
was
Helen
like,
Mirren was
wow.
fine as hell. I'm not kidding.
Okay,
I'm not kidding.
y'all may as well throw Betty White in that
Yeah.
list then. I don't even know what Betty White looks like when she was younger.
If you-
You can find it.
We can find that out.
Yeah.
We can find that out.
I mean, I don't know.
Said she looked like George Bush.
This is awesome. I'm about to mess up y'all. I'm about to mess up y'all search. I'm about to mess up y'all search history. Y'all about to have a messed up search history now. Looking up Betty White.
Helen Mirren can play
The model or whatever back when.
Hey, all I can say is, Betty White, if you're watching, but the off chance that you're watching, you are welcome to come on the show at any point in time because you were awesome. Straight up, for real. Only golden girl that's still around.
Yes.
Betty White is awesome.
Helen Mirren could play the boss. Like, no, I don't know. Maybe
10 years ago, maybe. Maybe. Who needs more yams? Hold on. Rick Mortis, who you talking about needs more yams? I don't know who you're talking about. I missed it.
Probably talking
Angela
about
Lansbury. Shut up.
Zombie Angela? Or she's still
Nah,
alive?
you talking about Murder, She Wrote Lansbury. Lansbury.
Wow.
Nah, dude.
No.
Y'all, you know, see,
Wow,
y'all,
2 more years and Betty White hits
See,
that
now
100.
we wilding, huh?
I don't care. Hey,
now we
hey,
wild.
Betty White, if you out there listening, happen to be watching the show, for your 100th birthday, you are invited. No matter of fact, whatever birthday you decide to come through, you are invited to come on the show, and we will have a whole hour dedicated to Betty White because she's awesome.
right.
Wow, Angela Lansbury is still alive.
Of course.
Yeah, she is. You know, she did. She
Also,
did.
She's 94 years old.
Ocelot. I just
Wait.
thought about it. About
Wait,
Kiefer
who?
Sutherland for Ocelot. Kiefer Sutherland.
Does Keith Sutherland still do movies?
No,
I'm pretty sure he would if he was offered.
no. I don't think
Keith
you do.
Sutherland could be.
don't think you do it.
Keith Sutherland could be Liquid.
I don't think you do it. I don't think you do it.
Dang, Leah,
Yeah,
Valiant over
it's
there
like,
trying to kick people out.
Just get out.
Bed knobs and broomsticks, Angela. Man, y'all trying to go back
Y'all
into
crazy.
the past.
Okay, now
Y'all,
the
whatever,
show's really
dog.
just completely
y'all done gone off the
Okay,
rails.
we got to take the power back now. Turn the cameras up.
Y'all had the power.
Y'all had
Now it's
the power.
coming
We got
back.
to take it back now because this show's done completely gone off the rails. Cameras on me. So we're gonna wind the show down. It's been a lot of fun. We want to thank Gypsy from Good Guys Gaming for joining us on the show today, man. And dude, you brought it. You've been a great plus to the show, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. So, so next week on Culture Junkies Live, episode 219, we're going to talk about, GQ, we talked about your collecting, but when does collecting kind of cross the border into being hoarding? So that's going to be a pretty good topic to talk about next week. So we want to make sure that you join us next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. And if you are new to the show, or if you have not watched us before, do make sure you come back and check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We got a lot of videos there. We've got for me it was Tuesday, which is weekly DVD unboxings, and we've got a DVD reviews. Excuse me, sorry. Damn, right. DVD. Who does DVDs anymore, right? But also, if you're new to the show, please follow us on Twitter, Twitch, and we'll have a brand spanking new Discord channel getting ready for you to join. It's going to be really, really dope. It's going to have all the bells and whistles. And if you wouldn't mind, if you did enjoy the show, consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/culturejunkies. So for my good friends, GQ, the great Dada Kuji, Fallen Marvel, and my new friend Gypsy, I'm Kashiro. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out now.
I don't know if he's still a friend. You said dope.